Vast ahoy and g'day once again to ye mateys. I be your DM, Josh the Pirate, and it brings me more excitement than a Polish woman named Marie on the 26th of December, 1898, to welcome you back to another episode of my Humblewood world for some more of Elements and Evil. With me, I met her on the internet, we haven't met in person yet, and her name is Daria. Now, we've been down this road before, John always ends up doing more, which then provides euphoria. But here's a creature of the night. How could I ever love Karen right, when I am only a DM? She's sitting over there tonight, but tell the truth, I'm terrified. There's nowhere left to hide the fact that it's Brendan Ellis, the man. There you go. So let's talk about these lovely folks.
But it was great.
Oh,
This is a centaur song, right?
It is the centaur song. It is half man, half horse.
Sounds so familiar.
Strongly endorsed.
From
Everyone
what?
go look it up. Josh played it for me, and I was like,
It's a new
this is
meme.
amazing.
It's one of the first times I'm like
powerful.
ahead of the curve. I heard it, and then about 3 days later, it started being really quite popular. I was like, yes!
Both ones.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm with the kids. I'm hip.
Now I am the sussy flower.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Josh, tell me about this hot, sexy Polish woman. What's up with her?
Oh, the hot, sexy Polish woman is Marie Curie.
Oh, well, that makes sense. I'm like,
Yeah.
why is she so happy?
Yeah, she was pretty happy because on the 26th of December, 1898, she and her husband Pierre discovered radium. There you go. They also discovered polonium 5 months earlier, which they named for Poland, which was fun. Curie was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, the first person to win 2, and also the only person ever to win them in different things. Which I think is fucking cool. And there's also another interesting one, because I was relating this to Karen. There is the Curie family legacy of Nobel Prizes. The Curie family has won a total of arguably 5, which is pretty impressive. However, I dispute this number, because one of them, well, 2 of them were for the same fucking prize, because Marie and Pierre won the same prize. I'm like, which they shared with a third person, Henry Labouchere, Henri probably, he was French too, for their discovery of radiation. That was for physics.
So they were like 2/3 of a prize.
Yeah. And Marie was not allowed to give the lecture, the Nobel Prize. When you win a Nobel Prize, you go to Sweden to give a lecture. But she was the first woman to do it, so they're like, what do we do? We can't have a vagina up there talking to us. So they just didn't, so Pierre went instead. In fact, she only got put on the prize because Pierre was like, fuck you, if you don't give it to my wife as well, I don't want it. So props to
Nice.
it was
They're
like
a lot better than a fuck ton of dudes who won awards
yeah, exactly.
and didn't fight for their wife to be on it.
So yeah, but their daughter won one as well for physics later, which is pretty fucking cool.
Shit.
And then their granddaughter's husband, which I think is again stretching it a bit, his surname was not Curie, won a Nobel Peace Prize on behalf of UNICEF, the organization. So I'm like, he was the head of UNICEF, but I mean, like, it's pushing
a fun fact.
It's a fun
connection,
one. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like.
I mean,
like a
you
trivia
can
bit.
retire on the fact that the family has won 3. No family has done that. So, like, that alone is impressive
more than
enough. Yeah. But stretching it for 5, I think. Anyway, there you are. It's Marie Curie. They won it for radiation. The discovery of radiation, and then she won a second one for isolating radium, because it's really hard to do. That was, and then she won. That was her second one for chemistry. So there you are. Daria, who the absolute heck are you? Now we know about
I
Marie
am
Curie.
a strong and brave soul that did not interrupt the story about Marie Curie with the joke about stretching something for 5.
Thank you.
Let that be on the record. I contained myself.
I'm impressed.
Powerful. The willpower I'm displaying today, and other things I'm displaying. Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. We haven't done this in like 2 months.
Welcome. Yes.
My name's Daria. I play Julia Switchgear on the channel. I'm very excited. I totally remember everything we did.
It's been less than 1 month, but yes.
Oh no.
Oh, no, I apologize. It has been a month and 4 days. John, who the heck are
forgive
you?
Josh.
Good.
I have been a performer for a very long time. Because I'm getting old. I too have forgotten everything. So this is going to be fun. I had to be reminded a number of times about things like leveling up.
What level
So
up
that's
did you
cool.
take? Yeah.
I did. I leveled up. So it's all good. It's finished now.
Yeah. And what level up have you taken?
So I am going to do another level in fighter. So I'm going to get my subclass. I think I am going to take a rune knight, which is very
Heck
fun.
yeah.
Oh,
Heck
that's
yeah.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yeah, I wanted an Echo Knight just for more bronze, but I think
I don't know if the world
function
can handle
over
more
fun.
than that. They never invented radiation. How different the world would be. No X-rays, no smoke detectors. Well, I mean, there would have had to be an awful lot of people not inventing that thing because Abus, like, 3 different people found it pretty much at exactly the same time. That's why they all got the same prize. Yeah, they and Henri Labouchere was not working with them. He was just working near them. And
That's
a
really
lot
neat.
of them died.
You know
Of
what?
radiation.
Maybe they shouldn't have invented it then. If it's so bad, maybe don't invent
That's how
radiation.
it works. Yeah.
Idiots. Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, I reckon there's a lot of
Don't invent
people in
radiation,
Japan agree.
fivehead.
Yeah, just don't.
Karen, who the heck are you?
Hello, I am Karen, sometimes known as the mother of bunnies. I'm a performer, a writer, an internet addict. Habit I'm trying to break, because oh boy is the internet a place at the moment. You can follow me on all the social medias. I really need to get around to adding Blue Sky to my bio, because I haven't done that yet. But it's the same handle, so I'm sure you can work it out. We have made an interesting choice with Cash for her level up. She has taken a level in Rogue.
Ooh.
So,
Because you get a lot of bang for your buck for a single level when you
do.
take a level in Rogue.
and it makes sense to kind of give her those sorts of abilities. So she's gonna be leaning into her roguish, I don't know, roguish instincts,
Origins.
roguish
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, I mean, as I pointed out to Karen when we were going through the options, she literally leads a spy organization. Like
She does. She does.
Mm.
She was a criminal, and now she leads a spy network. So.
Yeah. And that plus 1d6 of sneak attack damage once around on top. It just against most of the targets Kesh will be shooting, she'll probably get sneak at range. So yeah, it synergizes well. And then there's Thieves' Cant, which again makes sense. She gets a proficiency and two expertises as well. So Cash is now expertise in insight and survival, I want to say. So a plus 12 to those two things.
Damn.
Which is pretty handy.
I didn't need any help to be more sneaky because we kind of, as a team, already have sneakiness down to a fine art. But even more now.
So yeah. And Brendan, who the heck are you?
Hello, I am Brendan. I am an actor and director, and a silly little guy. I'm pink today, so enjoy that one. And I took a level in different character.
Hell yeah.
It's
a bold move, but I
for
supported
me-
it.
Class.
That's
Luckily for me, my internet is so fucked at the moment that I can't open the character sheet in D&D Beyond.
Nice.
Right.
So, like, I've got it on my phone,
Victory.
which means that I can look at, like, a fraction of my character sheet at a time.
Yeah.
So that's fun with the brand new character.
And it's only level
and
12. There's
haven't-
there's
Yeah.
not very much stuff to remember.
No, right? And having not played, just like Daria, for like 5.5 months.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yes, it certainly will
R.I.P.
be.
Eric,
He'll be fine.
you're a real one.
Don't stress him out. He's not dead. He's just unconscious.
He's not dead, he just went home.
I
Literally. And Lancaster, thanks for that resub. Samboy, thanks for the resub as well, you bloody champions. Avast, mateys, you wee scallywags. Hey, Shanahos, good to see you all back. Thank you so much for joining us again. Abus, Bishop Blood, all hi. It's lovely to see you guys. I apologize for the delay in coming back. There was a few things and some stuff and a house move, and the internet decided just not to work one week. And Karen and I have been fucking hot. I be Josh the Pirate. You can find thank you. You can find me on my channel, Courses Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG-related games with my lovely wife, Karen, the mother of bunnies, and all my splendid friends, like these people right here. That's about all you need to know about me, because I'm going back to uni this year to do primary teaching, because I like kids in a nice way. And
Thank you for the clarification on that.
As it was coming out of my mouth, I'm like, I'm going to have to put a clarification in there. And it upsets me that I'm going to have to, but I am going to have to. Yeah.
And God forbid the parents ever Google you.
I like to think that any cool and groovy parent would think, that's amazing, don't show my children. Which I won't, because I'm actually a good teacher, and I'm, yeah.
And then they walk into class to pick up their child, and you have the puppets out, and they're like, oh, no.
Yes. I think that's all we need to talk about. A few things we do need to do before we sort of progress onwards. We do, well, there is a few other things. I do need to remind our charming, smexy, and possibly even delightful audience to please like, follow, and all subscribe to all the things, you bloody champions. We have all the exclamation mark socials. We have a YouTube. And I changed that so it's just YT. There we go. And we have a Discord if you want to come and hang out with us there. As long as you're not planning to bug us to buy your stuff, because that's not what the Discord is for. That's what live streams are for, like this. So if you want to have some fun stuff to buy, go check out Wood and Forge. Wood and Forge are the creators of WA and possibly even the world's finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories. Like this gorgeous Jarrow dice keeper here. It goes wherever I go with me whenever I'm playing D&D, which is quite a lot. I leave my house to play D&D quite a bit sometimes. Check out their stuff, woodenforge.com/Corsairs Cove. And if you do, we get a cheeky kickback, you bloody champions. Because I don't shill, but I do have bills. And if you also fancy buying some amazing TTRPG stuff, check out Troll Lord Games. The Troll Lords are amazing peeps. I got some dice from them recently. Dice Spawn! They sent me an enormous and very light box. I imagine it was just the smallest box they had. So tonight's dice are presented by Troll Lord Games. They're gorgeous green ones. And again, if you buy a set from them, you get 4d6s. So you can roll stats. And you also get the standard array of everything else, including a fun-shaped D4. Look at that boy. And on the max number, you get the Troll Lord. You get the Amazing Adventures logo, I think it is. It's a little dragon. Very sexy things. Tonight's rolling will be done with those ones. They're also sharp-edged and fun. So yes, check out trolllords.com. I had a voucher for Christmas, so... I won it actually on Phoenixy Wacky. So, what else do we need to talk about? I think that's about it in terms of the plug-in of the stuff. Actually, I haven't done this in a while because we kind of forgot. Karen, can you talk about Ukraine, please? Because I feel like with the changes that are going on in the world, they may need some help.
Yeah, shit's fucky. We did and still do stand with the Ukrainian people in their ongoing struggle to not be infested with Russian soldiers. And if you would like to support them in whatever little way you can afford to right now, you can follow the link to the Emergency Action Appeal and donate towards a range of charities and not-for-profits that are providing ongoing support to the refugees of the Ukrainian war. So if you are able to donate, please do. You can specify where you'd like the money to go, or you can just generally give it to them and let them do with it as they see fit.
Thank you very much, my dear. Before we begin, John, we know what subclass you went with, but John also, Bron acquired a rather nifty new weapon last week, or a month ago. And it wasn't so much a new weapon as we have the weapon has changed quite significantly. It was the slime-forged blade. However, now it has taken on a new appearance, and it is fucking dope. So, we have called it the Bark Blade, thanks to Bishop Blood. That was a good one. And it is a very different weapon. I have actually, in D&D Beyond, created it using a short sword, to be honest, because it does a d6 of damage now, as opposed to the 2d6 or whatever it was before, but it is now a +2 whip, essentially. It is a vine whip sword sort of thing. It does a single d6 +2 of damage, and Bron can decide to do either radiant or slashing damage with that weapon. So pretty neat, and it retains the feature of if you roll a 20 on the hit, the target is paralyzed for 1 round, which was an original feature from the Slime Forged Blade. So it's an upgrade, and a pretty decent one. Bron, can you please, before we begin or do anything else, make a perception check?
I can.
Because I forgot to
clicky
get you to
clack.
do this before.
Actually, instead of the clicky clacks, we roll here, don't we? A perception check.
And
No.
Josh,
What a
real
way to
quick,
begin. Nat
I sent
20.
you a DM on Discord
Thank you.
for when you're ready to do that.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Strong. Strong.
Yeah,
I
23.
figured
Very
during
strong.
the recap. Yeah.
And
Yes, I'll give you some notes. I haven't really given her... I kind of open to whatever you plan to bring with it, really. So, 23. A nat 20 +3. Pretty decent way to start. Bron, before you all left the glade where you had the war and everything, and the dragons and the things were coming out, and everything was going very badly, before you left there, just after you got back to the material plane, before you decided to all mount up and ride away into the sunset towards the tree, you notice on the ground, just by the tree, a little circular object, a little grey-black circular orb.
Is it a rock?
It is not a rock. It looks like you take it as a rock at first.
It's
but
a
as
rock lobster.
there may or may not be dragons. Tarkin Dragon. Tarkin Dragon Cat Wild Sand. Amazing name. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I know a person called Cat Wild. Is that Cat Wild? If not, fantastic and just interesting. Yes, there may be dragons. Is it a frog? No, it is a rock that is actually an eye.
Ooh. Okay. I assume there's not time to investigate it before we ride away, so maybe I'll just tuck it into my bag for later.
Well, I tell you what, with a
investigation.
nat 20, it's Julio's eye.
Oh.
What?
Interesting. Okay. And Julio's not here when I find it. We go to
No.
ride to Julio. Yeah.
Julio, when he was in the death plane, was the eye. That was all he had. His only physical presence was that object. The eye that he had thrown into the death plane originally. It is now back. He managed to bring it back, and you managed to notice it lying on the floor.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wrap it up and put it away very carefully.
And pop it in the boomstick. Yeah. And Cash, can you roll me a d12, please? Because something else has happened that you don't know about. Rock Eye Road.
D12, you say?
Yes, I do.
Sorry, computer's being a little slow. We'll just give that one a second.
Just give it a little minute.
That is a 6.
A 6. Oh, perfect. Cool. No worries. All
Josh
good
is
things.
perfect, and I don't know if that's good or bad.
All good things. No, it's actually exactly what has happened. So it means nothing needs to change, nothing needs to be explained. All will become obvious in the next 3 episodes. So, mateys, I think we need a bit of a recap. Cash, I will tell you, you just rolled on the instability table.
Oh, goody.
Fun. Fun.
Gulp. Yeah, it's perfect. It really is. and it's exactly what has happened. Daria, you thought you might remember enough about what's happened to be able to do a recap.
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, what happened?
I thought so. So, we, after being betrayed, and taken for a fool and fighting our way back home, we indeed made our way into the material plane. And a few things became apparent. First of all, the area where Ron, Ereq, and Cash came back was cordoned off because there were monsters pouring out of the portal. Monsters that were apparently too fucking strong for the best of the best, or whoever the fuck, and they just fucked off into like different directions of the forest, and those were shadow dragons.
Shadow
It's
things.
shadow dragons, shadow things, yeah. And the best of the best, led by what's his fucking name?
Kovacs Ravania, is that who you think?
Thank you. Yeah, Kovacs Ravania, and a bunch of like I think this is people from the university, right?
Mostly, yes.
And most of them, and also a couple people from the plane brigade that Eric's part of, right?
No, that Cash is part of. There was some Wild Brigadiers that Cash's group.
Yeah.
But
So
there weren't
the
any
boss ass
tenders,
bitch,
no.
She was not a tender. She was just a cool army person, then I guess. So
Oh, Coral is a member of the Knights of Gesmi.
Yes, sorry, I was mistaken. Knights of Gesmi. So they're pretty cool, but not cool enough to kill like 3 or 4 shadow creatures pouring out. So they said bye-bye, someone else's problem. And that someone else turned out to be Julio, because while the gang was trying to close off the portal, Julio woke up where he went into the death plane, which is in the goo under the older heart. And of course he commandeered a horse and was really cool and drove his bug into the wilds, but on the road to meet up with his friends he found one of the shadow creatures and very conveniently received level up right before fighting the fucker. So he was able to like transformer type beat, get all tree bark like, grow to a large size and just smack around the dragon, totally not getting close to dying at all. Very strong. wasn't even worried about it. So he defeated the shadow creature and saved a village, which is the village where Cash originally was from?
No, it's just some random little village.
Oh, okay.
I have since named it, but I don't think I gave it a name originally.
Okay, then just normal village TM.
Thistledown is called.
Thistledown, that's cute. It's been saved. Julio had a nice little mushroom soup with the villagers, and in that time, Cash, Braun, and Ereq closed the portal, so it's chill. And then Cash was able to summon a bunch of humongous bugs to be their mounts so that they can ride towards the tree. And Ereq got super tired and exhausted. Ereq got that depression bug and he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. But there was the Knight of Gesmi, cool boss bitch that was like, hey, if you don't fix this, I'll kill you then. And everyone's like, okay, all right. So she's also here. And we finished the episode on the gang meeting up with Julio. Julio standing proudly one leg on top of the shadow dragon he's slain by himself. His gigantic balls just like waving in the wind between his leggies. So yeah, that's where we left off.
bark-covered balls.
Yeah, just gigantic
Wrong
touching the
wind.
grasses.
He's suddenly developed a vulnerability to bludgeoning damage.
But he's very good at piercing, if you know what I'm saying.
Hey. Oh,
No,
God.
can you explain, please?
Okay, so his peen
Stop. That's a very good recap, Daria. Good job.
Thank you.
Brendan, I've just sent you basically all the information hopefully you will need. If anything else you say is incorrect, I will correct you, but otherwise, I'm happy for you to just make shit up.
Right.
Totes scrotes. Good. Yes. Well done. So, mateys. May all your allies be around when you battle dragons, and all your level ups not be accompanied by a coma as we head tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion into the Humblewood. Siri!
Siri, particularly
Yeah.
with mounting
Siri
heat
is
and passion.
super excited.
I have to steal her inside again. There
Seal
we
her
are.
in like a
Yeah.
demon.
Yep, my little demon. So we head back to Alderheart and the Humblewood, where the gang is staggering back to the Alderheart, escorted by a bunch of wizards, a patrol of Wildwood Brigadiers, a host of ghosts, a couple of dozen newly fanatical Jabines, and a pair of Knights of the Burning Branch, most, though not all of whom, are mounted on giant insects. Kesh, you left a few guards watching the corpse of that lizard Julio slew in Thistledown, but a good portion of the populace seemed keen to join you heading to Alderheart. Julio, you've got like a dozen or two, no, probably more like 24 Jabine. The village was mainly Jabine, and yeah, it was kind of smaller folk, I suppose. So Jabines, Lumas, like what bird folk there were Luma and Raptors, like the smaller kind of bird folk. It was a village for small people, a Hoppertown, a Hopperton, if you will. That sort of like
cute.
Bronze banging his
Julio-
head going through doors, sort of thing.
Julio rubs his little hands because this is new flock for his cult of all the heart.
He's using this time to tell him about how cool all the heart is, and like flexing his like wood muscles and his gigantic balls to show the power all the heart can give you if you
I
go
want
into the
you
church.
for the cult of Alderheart.
Exactly.
Oh my god, I need to commission that from you, actually. Julio doing that. The main gate
that'd be
of
so good.
Alderheart now rears up ahead of you. What do you do? So, Julio, I just for a few things for each of you. Julio, you cannot see Raleigh anywhere, but many of the other spirits are looking pretty pale. As in time is of the essence. Kesh, the two Knights of Gesme conferred with you at Thistledown. Sir Whitesong, the Vulpin Knight, expressed that he was impressed that you and your allies were dealing with the incursions as fast as you were. Your organization seems pretty good. Like, you didn't even have to tell Julio to do this. He just kind of did it. And yeah, Sir Whitesong was pretty impressed. He has taken several of the wizards that Korvax had brought with him, and they have gone to hunt the creature that headed towards Brackenmill. But that he is leaving Sir Clearwater with you guys to assist you bringing down the beast that headed south. Which is pretty much the exact opposite direction you are currently going, but you've got stuff to deal with in Alderheart first.
We're gonna drop off an unconscious Ereq corpse. We've gotta actually rest so we have like our abilities back.
Yeah. Korvax Ravania is riding behind Coral Clearwater, actually. She is I'll go for a little bit of background on the Knights of the Burning Branch. They are not a well-known order. It's Braun almost certainly would never have heard of them. Julio might have. Kesh might have. I would say Ereq probably would know of them, but he's not here right now. They are mainly because there just isn't very many of them. The people who follow Gesme are not rare, but they don't tend to get out much. They're very they're scholarly folks. Knights who follow Gesmi are unusual. The remit of the Knights of Gesmi is rather secretive. It would appear, at least partially, to be the acquisition of new knowledge and the protection of old knowledge. But they do have a second thing, and given that two of them have shown up in the presence of specifically Korvax Ravania, and Gesmi is the Corvum Amaranthine, that's maybe interesting or indicative of something. They are often related to prophecy. But that's really for
Do
Cor.
we know for sure that Gesmi and Corvix are not one and the same? Do we know for sure that that's a fact?
If you want to ask him, you're welcome to. Would Julio have thought of that?
I don't know. I don't think you.
When you meet an
Julio would be-
Amaranthine, you know you've met an Amaranthine. Having met a couple,
Yeah.
I would argue yeah.
Yeah, Julio would be way too concerned about the absence of Raleigh, so he'd be like badgering people for information on the road. That's it.
Well, that becomes fairly... Yeah, Korvax is maybe a 7.5 Bishop Blood. He's not a bad-looking guy. Right now, he's looking pretty fucking old and rather tired, rather drained. His feathers are almost pure white. So he's not suspiciously attractive. But that's a rule from the other campaign. But yeah, if Julio... it's probably fairly obvious Julio's trying to figure out where Raleigh is relatively quickly. Bron, you can probably hear or tell that, yeah.
Yeah, I would probably speak up and say, look, it's okay, Julio. I think Riley is successfully possessed Stephen.
Julio will like get close to Steven and like whisper into the shiny surface. Can you hear me, Riley? Are you there?
And from speaking out from it, just sort of vibrating on the surface, it's sort of the whole thing is an echo pot. There's always a bit of an echo when she talks. She says, Julio, you need to stick your mouth up to the horn on the side. I cannot hear you very well when you whisper into my butt like
Horn.
that.
We did that.
I'm sorry. Hi. Hello. Can
Oh,
you
too
hear
loud.
me?
No, just talk normally. Why?
Can you like see me? Can you hear me? What?
I can only
what's-
hear right
what's
now.
happened?
He's a little weird.
We're working on eyes and oh, speaking of eyes, what have we
Segue.
found? We're working on eyes and other things for other senses. But speaking of which, I found your eye,
I.
What? Huh?
and I
Pardon?
pull out Julio's
You pull out.
Julio's old eye. Ugh.
So it looks like a black rock now.
Yeah, pretty much. It looks like an eye, but it is made of obsidian glass.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Well, it looks like that sort of thing.
I got my eye. So my eye went through a lot of evolution. So the space where I didn't have an eye before got like imbued with all the hard magic to have a green eye that lets me see energies. And then when we're closing the death portal, the death like wound in Alderhard, the node, I took that and put that in, and it transformed, and I was able to see through the black eye of death into the death plane. But now it's here?
Wait, no, that might be very bad. Wait, we know what happens when life and death magic. Although it's tree and death magic, we don't know what happens.
It's not the
when that
same.
interacts.
It's not the same. It's not void.
Ooh.
But if it's here with us, does that mean that like they didn't want me spying on them over there? Didn't they just threw it
I'm
in?
pretty sure they don't. They're not your biggest fan, Julio. Just FYI, I'm
It's like,
pretty
get
sure.
out and take your shitty eye with you.
Right.
You stupid fucking eye.
It was a lot more prosaic than that. You were literally piloting the eye when you left. You brought it with you.
Oh.
It was
Right.
The entirety of your physical form when you left the death plane was that eye.
Makes sense.
But as
That's
soon as
why
you
I
went
woke
back
up
to
in
a
the
place where you
Alderhard.
had a physical form to occupy, the eye just became inert.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Can I pop it in?
if you want
Yeah.
to.
I'll wash it first.
I'm gonna lick it.
Bleh.
Yeah. Does it taste good?
No, it really doesn't. It
Julio's
tastes.
one of those parents that the kid spits their dummy out on the ground, just picks it up, wipes it off on their sleeve, and shuts it
Yeah,
back.
I would straight up do that, but this tastes like dust. Like
Okay.
licking it immediately, your tongue just goes parched dry. Yeah, not the nicest thing to lick. Make an Arcana check, Julio.
Oh god, okay. I'm so Arcana, you guys. I'm so Arcana.
Very Arcana, much wow.
A +3 Arcana. I'm so smart. Hiya.
It's like magic.
Oh, 19 though. 22.
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right.
That's almost the max I can throw.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, like ash and dust, Bishop Blood, exactly. Yeah, this thing's still freaking magical. And it's not like
Okay.
nice magic.
Oh, then
It's
I lick it.
actually like sticking. You go to put it in your eye, and then it occurs to you, wait. The last time this thing did something with me, it sucked my soul out of my body and took it to another plane.
I did this thing
I
like,
had that experience.
wait.
Wait a minute, this might be fucking
Wait a
stupid.
Wait, you don't like the taste of rock?
Well, it's the taste of dust, which is not the same.
Oh,
Listen, we talked
great.
about
Dust is
this.
just small rocks.
What we lick in our private rock appreciation time is very different. Okay, this is not the same. But
Private?
can you check, Ron? Don't you have magic to see if something is like a magic item? Can you check?
Oh, I
Can
probably
you lick?
should have done that. It's not done by licking because I grew up
Oh.
slightly. I just do it for fun now.
I want a character now that can detect magic, but can only do it.
You can
by
only do it by
licking
licking things. Yeah.
Yes, magic. It exploded.
The sword
Not-
magic? No, but it's very sharp. Ow. Ow.
I can later. I need it
Not
now.
right now.
I'm very tired. Yes.
Speaking of tired, why is Ereq like this? I poke Ereq.
Oh, Ereq is. Yeah.
Yes,
He
yes.
overdid it a little bit.
Corvax has actually
Close
been
the port.
sort of looking, like, has sort of been sitting with him the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he is very drained. He burnt a portion of his soul to do what he did.
You can do that?
In extremis. I don't recommend it.
He's going to be okay though, right?
Souls heal given time.
Oh, that's
It is where all magic comes from.
really.
Oh, do you know how long this will take?
Depends on the person.
Oh.
Not long then. He bounces back pretty quick.
Yeah, but I'm worried.
I hope you're right.
He's the smartest. We really need him for whatever's coming.
I
Okay,
am.
bro, you know what I meant.
I
You know
would
what I meant.
I would recommend whatever it is you did with your friend here. I would recommend the same treatment.
Spa day in the goo. Yep.
Just take
whatever
Ereq
we
down
have
into
to
the
do,
roots.
we have
him
to
into the-
make sure that we do it quickly. We have business to attend.
Who's
Let's go.
that? I turn
Um,
around. Who are you?
I assume
Um,
Coral was with them, right?
Coral was with them. Coral was sitting with Kovacs. So yes, Brendan, who do we see as Julio turns around? Who are you?
Yeah, that's a great point actually. This is a puffin-looking Loma person, right? Yeah. In fact, because you described her last session, maybe it would be best for you to describe her appearance, and I can
Very
add
well.
on equipment and stuff.
She is, yes, probably about the same height as Julio. Not, armored quite heavily. It is like plate or at least heavy chain mail. She
plate.
is very tanky looking lady. But for all that, moves gracefully. She has the standard puffin beak. If you haven't seen a puffin before, do yourself a favor and Google that. They are heckin' cute birds, little orange feet, and a almost triangular shaped orange beak with stripe detailing up, I think, near the backs. The birds in Star Wars, the sort of the little flightless seabirds in Star Wars, are sort of inspired by them, clearly, but puffins are actually cuter than them. Black and white feathers, white on the tummy, black on the back and wings.
I believe those birds exist
Hawks.
in that movie because the island was covered in them and it was too hard to keep them out
It
of
was
shot.
easier to
So
just...
they just added them to the movie, which honestly is amazing.
And Tarkin Dragon, that is correct. They are porgs in that film, yes. And one of them stows away and becomes Chewbacca's friend because he needs a new one because Han died stupidly. Spoilers. Yeah, she is...
If I haven't come across that one by now, you know.
Tanky looking,
By the
takes
way,
no shit.
Snape kills Dumbledore.
You monster.
Spoilers.
And Marty McFly does make it back to 1983. Or whenever it was he was from. The armor is, I think relatively plain, and what detailing there is flame motif. They are the burning branch, for those who aren't familiar with the lore, Gesme, the Amaranthine of knowledge, most of the birdfolk Amaranthines attained their deityhood by the gifting of presents to Ardea, the goddess of the sun. And Gesme flew out of curiosity. She didn't know what the sun was, so she flew to the sun. And to prove that she'd done so, she took a stick with her, a branch that caught fire, obviously, when she got to the sun. And then flew back to demonstrate that she had done so. Demonstrating, because I would argue it's fucking stupid. There's a whole myth about don't fly too close to the sun. Yeah, apparently this demonstrated how keen she was to learn, rather than how bright she was in the first place. So she is always depicted as this...
Yeah, she wasn't made of like wax. It's fine.
Yeah,
She doesn't have melt.
Well, she is now depicted as a silhouette of a bird carrying a burning branch, so that is where the name comes from. Yeah, she was an ostrich. Just got scorched black to get it. Yes, absolutely. I think that's I actually don't know what she would be armed with. Even that's a Brendan question. So yeah. That's what I know about her. Carry on. I would have her with a Welsh accent, but you are not bound to that.
I can barely do my own accent, let alone a Welsh accent.
Because I've written her family.
And I end up doing Sarah Milligan, who is not Welsh.
No.
We will get what we get, I think.
Yeah. What happens, happens.
What I will say on the topic of the armor is Bron probably would recognize that it is not made of a normal material. And I have updated my magic items, Josh, so if you're curious, you can take a look at those as well.
Is it adamantine plate?
It is adamantine plate.
Fuck.
Well,
lucky you're going to be fighting a dragon then, isn't it?
No
look,
crits
on
I almost
you.
went with necrotic resistance. I'm like, I've got a cool shield. So she also has a cool shield.
Oh, sweet.
Which also has that burning stick symbol on it. And if it's okay, Josh, can I have either a bag of holding or like a holster of holding, because she has fuck tons of weapons.
Yeah,
she has
that's
like
fine.
5 or 6 different weapons.
I did notice that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like keep pulling them out from behind her back.
Yeah.
She has mastery with about 5 or 6 of them, which is
That's 2024 rules. Yeah.
Yeah. which unfortunately was impossible to avoid when making a new character. So
Oh.
there you go. Up
sucks.
to you, Josh, whether you want to
Yeah. Should be
play
possible.
by that or not. Not that I could find, but
I think you have to scroll
whatever.
all the way down to let you use the legacy options, unless they've changed it.
I
yeah.
feel like it might be new with new characters, but anyway, she has a shit ton of weapons, regardless of whether mastery stuff applies to it. She has like a semi-permanent scowl, and she's not letting her eyes off of any of you. She also has with her, which where are you on the road at the moment? Is that where we are?
Yeah, I think everyone's riding the same giant worm.
Okay, great. Which is her mount, which occasionally glows.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
paladins, at least this new kind of paladin, just always has find state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that is probably about everything. So if she's leading, if she's navigating on the steed, then she's not turning around every 5 seconds to look at you. But whenever you take breaks, she is diligently watching over you.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that is who Julio sees. So Clearwater will is keen to assist you in bringing down the one of the other shadow beasts.
The creatures that you allowed into our plane.
Allowed is a strong
Need to.
word.
Is that directed at us or Cormac?
You two.
You.
Not so much Julio.
He's like,
Actually,
getting to
technically,
the
I mean,
door.
Julio was the reason you guys went, but Julio wasn't the one who actually went himself, so... not that she is completely au fait with the ins and outs of your adventure, so she's
Not
probably...
responsible.
No, you just threw your eye into the death plane and then got sucked there later yourself, causing everybody else to go there in the first place, so...
Yeah, your actions had nothing to do with our actions.
I just got a little excited about my girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Freudian slip there.
It's okay. I'm sure Gesme understands.
I know for a fact that she does.
Look, this was not the...
It's Gesme, you know.
I'm not familiar with this. What?
Gesme is the holy amaranthine to which my service is bound.
Yeah,
Let's get a
I
move
know.
on,
I mean,
shall
like,
we?
okay.
She
Does
doesn't...
Gesme have a girlfriend?
She may swing both ways, I'm not sure.
Okay, just checking.
I
most
really
of
think
them
that questioning
do.
the sexuality of my amaranthine of choice is not the smartest thing that we could be spending our time on right now.
That's, you'll have to get
You might
used
have
to
to
that
get
one, I
used
think.
But yeah, I agree. We need to figure out where the other shadow monsters went. You said there's 2 more?
One is being dealt with. I have made connections. Then another of the knights, you did not meet him, I don't think, has taken some of my students, is pursuing the one that we viewed to be less dangerous. But we thought, seeing as you guys are powerful elemental slayers, you would be best suited to hunt down the thing that flew towards Saltar's Point this morning.
Yeah,
Not
that
no,
sounds
but-
like our bag.
Also, I don't think it would be
I just want it
unfair
on the
to
record.
observe that
This
you...
was not...
I know
our
you did not
intention.
do it intentionally, but the road to the death plane is paved with good intentions. And apparently
I
the
did try
road
to tell
from it.
Ereq that, but
Quick question. How far is Saltar's Point? Do we have time for like a strong 8-hour nap?
that would be lovely.
My intention is to, when we get there, I must brief the council, and I imagine, Kesh, you will want to do the same.
Yeah, we're gonna have to squeeze in a nap at some point though, because oh boy, am I tapped out.
At which point, I mean, it is getting dark. I would guess, once you have done that, they will make moves to teleport you to Soltas Point. In the morning.
Oh.
That would hopefully gain you most of the way. We shall see what it has done. And Julio, I think you have your own issues to deal with here. And he looks at the ghostly forms of 100-odd villagers sort of hanging around.
Right. Yeah, what do we do with those?
We've decided that
Once
we're going to give them the choice. That they can go into the tree or they can try and find their own bodies. Yes.
Yes. So as far as I understand, we're going to the Older Heart first, dealing with souls, sleeping, teleporting. Yes?
Yes.
That would be my bet.
I'm on board now. I understand.
Shadow dragon slaying. Apologizing.
Yep.
Bishop Blood, solid use of the word Deodans there as well. And I wouldn't pave the road with Deodans. There's an awful lot of dead bodies.
So yeah, then I will absolutely double down on my efforts to explain like all the heart deity status to the souls and the villagers.
Yeah.
So I'll put
Julio
I'll put
does
my
a makeshift
time to that.
Theology lesson, sermon, yes, absolutely. Off the back of a moving worm. While
the worm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Summit on the worm. That should have been the episode title. There you go. Too sacrilegious? Maybe too sacrilegious, even for YouTube. Okay. So you guys, unless you have anything you want to do, say, or do a B, you get to Alderheart, and you split up to your various tasks. Kesh, Korvax would take you and probably Coral to brief the council. And when you get to the gate, a worried-looking group of guards are there, and sort of you're bombarded with questions. Sort of like, Colonel, what do we do? What's happening with this? And what's going on with this? And what should we do? And like, what do you do?
Okay, everyone calm down. Could we possibly sum up the major issues in 10 words or less? One at a time. Go! And I point to, like, the guy on the left.
Yeah, the guy on the left is, well, the Pope stole my ride, but other than that, giant flying shadow thing? That's 4 words, how's that?
Very brief. Excellent work. Gold star.
Headed south if you want 6.
Yeah. One is already dispatched.
Right.
You can say thanks to the Pope who stole your ride. The other one is currently being pursued by another team, and we will be teleporting in the morning to handle the third and final one that's heading south. So hopefully resolved within the next 24 hours.
Right. Okay. Great. What happened to, out of curiosity, and it probably doesn't matter, but what happened to Chompers?
I put a hand on his shoulder and say, Chompers fought bravely, one-on-one, mano-a-mano against the Shadow Dragon.
You let it fight a dragon?
Listen, it was me and Chompers and no one else around, okay? We needed the numbers and we needed Chompers to be brave, which he was.
So 2 on
and
1.
He died.
Oh.
Yeah.
I forgot that Chompers has died, not gonna lie.
Yeah, sorry, Chompers got breathed on by a necromantic breath.
Didn't dodge fast enough. Yeah.
We will source an appropriate replacement for Chompers, with our apologies.
Oh, that's all right.
Posthumously,
I was just
Chompers
curious.
will receive a medal and an acknowledgement.
Molars.
That would be nice. And what?
Molars can be the name of the replacement.
Right. Okay, I'm with you. Molars.
Nice.
Bugs don't have
Nice.
molars.
But it's a bigger
Do they have
chompers.
Chompers?
Yeah, they're clacky things. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Okay.
Took me far too long to get that joke, not gonna lie.
Hey, Marco Desune, good to see you, mate. So, yes, that's what you do. Cash, Kovac says, please, Colonel, I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted. I would like to sleep soon. Let's brief the council.
Yes.
Mr. Hydecraft.
Did anyone else have any urgent matters to bring before me?
No, he covered the main ones, really. It seems like everything's under control, Major, Colonel. Yep, great.
More or less, yes. Amazing. Let's roll.
So you head
As
up.
you were.
Kovac says, Mr. Hydecraft, perhaps you could take our friend here to a suitable resting place. And he gestures to Ereq.
I'm thinking tenders.
Did we not discuss the?
Yes,
food bar?
slime waterbed in the thing.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Which actually be
Slime
where
waterbed.
Julio is going as well.
Yes.
So, Julio,
Yes.
you wrangle 100 odd people plus some new followers back
Damn.
down to your temple.
Yes.
And actually, no, there would be. What am I talking about? There will be a second one. Yeah, actually, Colonel, there is a second issue. Where are these people sparkly and glowy and kind of see-through?
Well, not to put too fine a point on it, they're dead.
Right?
Uh,
He takes it really quite well, actually. It's more sort of like I think it says a lot about his confidence in you. It's like, okay, I presume you are going to explain that.
they were in the plane of death, and now they're not. So we are going to find them a more suitable afterlife location. Because it turns out the plane of the dead is not the greatest place to spend the rest
Who
of
knew?
eternity.
Do they require any special security concerns? I think actually, that you're talking to at least a captain, and because he claps his hands and about 30 odd, he was like, "You lot, grab a platoon. You guard these people." And he looks out at the sea of undead faces. He's like, "My apologies. You obviously have been through a lot. And we will keep you safe, but I am afraid we are going to have to sort of segregate you from the rest of the population of the tree."
Don't have to worry about that. I got them. We shall go to the Alder Heart, and we shall disperse soon, sir. Why am I saluting you? You should be saluting me.
I
Sorry.
don't know where you
Just
fit
kidding.
in the hierarchy of the military structure.
Up there.
Your
I'm a
popeness.
Oh, it's okay, cool.
I think it would,
Everyone
however,
knows you're the
be-
Pope.
I think it would be good to have some guards go with you, just in case any of these guys get recognised and a certain amount of panic or distress is unleashed.
Yeah, maybe.
Just in case anyone
don't-
spots their loved one just waltzing
don't
sparkily
go
through
home.
town.
Yeah. I want to also be very clear. People don't know what dragons are here. Dragons are not a thing. So you fought a giant flying lizard that breathed death smoke out of its mouth, but and when you slew it, the death smoke faded off it and left a young red dragon behind, but you didn't know what that was either. Which is why guards have been placed on the corpse, because no one's seen anything like this in a hot minute. Korvax may or may not have mentioned that dragons used to be a thing. But I don't think he did. And no one asked him. So we proceed. So Kesh, let's go you and Coral first. Heading up to talk to Ereq's granny and the General Sheridan and a bunch of other people who are quite important and invested in finding out what goes on, while Bron and Julio take Ereq's corpse, or the close, nearly, not quite.
He's not dead yet.
He's fine. He'll be fine. So you go down. You go up the tree, up the tree, lickety split, and find yourselves in the council chambers. The council chambers are a huge space in the upper branches of this enormous tree. For those who are joining us, Tarkin Dragon, this tree is over 1 kilometer high. Think home tree from Avatar. You're not far wrong, but it's cooler because it's mine. And the buildings in the top are also made of the tree, sort of grown and bent out of the wood itself. This is a large, airy space, clearly large enough to be flown around in. It is designed kind of like an amphitheater. It's rare, you don't often see it inhabited by a full sort of citizen's inquest, but the walls are covered in perches, where birdfolk particularly can perch up, and so you can have thousands in this room, which would have a floor space for no more than a couple of hundred. However, every time I think Kesh has been in here, it has just been the council. This large dome-shaped building. You go inside, and you have to walk sort of a couple of 100 meters up a central aisle to get to in front of them. General Sheridan uncommonly looks just as angry as the rest of them do, as Kesh and Korvax and Coral claw their way up the entryway. Beta, the former council speaker and now just council lady, says, Master Ivania, you don't look very well. I am as well as one could hope in the circumstances. Thank you, council lady. We have news to report. Perhaps Major Colonel, I apologize, Glitterweave could...
I might be about to get demoted.
That depends very much on how the next couple of days transpire. Where's Ereq? Is he alright?
He's gonna be fine. He overdid it a little. So he is currently unconscious. But we are taking him to the temple to help him reboot.
She gestures over to an
very
aide
brave.
and mutters in the aide's ear. Which temple? Where?
The one in the roots.
His mother will want to know. Very well, thank you. And the aide rushes off. Korvax says, he will be fine. He will take time, though. I know something of what he just went through. And he sort of gestures at himself. I just have a little bit more practice. Pray for him that he does not get it. So, perhaps, Colonel, give the council members a blow-by-blow, what you learned. And then in your head, Kesh, you hear him say, my suggestion is to make it seem on purpose. A fact-finding mission. Focus on what you learned of the enemy's plans.
I kind of glance at him in a manner that's like, got it. It's like, we received intelligence that a number of souls were being, illicitly contained in the death plane as part of the larger machinations to destabilize the relationship between, the material plane and the various other elemental planes. So Julio, due to connection with some previous death plane magic, was able to kind of more directly infiltrate in search of information, and we kind of had to take a more roundabout route by opening our own kind of doorway into death. We located the missing souls, some of which were still alive, and should, now they've come back to this side, have been reunited with their physical bodies, which is excellent. And the souls that don't have bodies to go to will be absorbed into the tree, I suppose.
I believe this was only one of the options, but we were going to be giving them...
Yeah, there were options, but basically they can spend their afterlife in the tree as opposed to being kind of sort of tortured on the death plane. So very positive for them.
You see shock and horror confusion and curiosity as you weave your tale across most of the faces. The only person who kind of stays stony throughout is Iari. Cash, can you please make me a persuasion check? Or bullshit check, but we don't have one of those, so it's going to have
check,
to be...
Yeah.
And
in
Coral,
other
you
news
can make
on
an
our-
insight check, if you like.
In
I
other
think
news, a number of death creatures did manage to break through the safeguards laid upon the portal.
Yes,
one
we
is
noticed.
already dead. One is
I can
currently
add
being
to
hunted
cash,
down,
right?
and the third one we will be going to get tomorrow. That's all good.
I think I remember I can add my charisma to you, right? Is that a thing?
We're not there.
You're not there.
I'm not there. Shit, never mind. I was like,
I don't know what the
can
range
use
on that
my
is.
subclass ability. I can't.
Cash got a...
I sense that Kesh somewhere nearby is...
Yeah,
needs
that's-
needs
she's
help
bullshitting
bullshitting.
right now.
Charisma is failing.
I sense bullshit going on nearby. Okay, first roll from the Troll Lord Games dice is a 10, a flat 10, to see how many of the to see whether or not the council see through Cash's bullshit. Coral got a 19.
Sorry, that went a bit weird there. 12.
A 12. Cash manages to convince the council, but not Coral. Coral is probably because she was like actually there. At least on some, she was like, this may be the truth, and you do think that Cash wouldn't straight up lie to the council, but there is absolutely more to it and reasons for doing these things that don't match what Cash is saying. However,
I don't think Coral has any incentive or inclination to out her to the council.
Oh, no. But, this could be just as easily convincing Coral if Coral was easily to convince. Turns out she's not. But yeah, the council and General Sheridan are all sort of, okay, all right. This looks bad. So the first question would be from General Sheridan. Gesh, you took precautions before you went.
Oh, yeah, we had a whole magic circle sealant sort of
And
thing
yet this
set up.
was not enough?
Well, the Death Plane's really good at kind of making you think that you're one place when you're actually in another place. And turns out it can make you dispel magic when you don't really intend to. So it, I suppose, essentially circumvented our best intentions. But on the bright side, if it ever happens again, we'll know better.
Kovacs actually says, a smaller matter, but actually also it was in the process of this tomfoolery on behalf of the plane that the colonel here was actually able to communicate with me in the first place. Had they not, I probably would not have been able to do what damage mitigation we could, so I suppose... And then Iari cuts it and says, it could have been much worse.
Oh my, I mean, it was fine.
And Kovacs smiles graciously and says, yes, trust me, it could have been so much worse. At the low end, at the high end of, like, bad, the world could have ended today.
But it didn't.
But it did
Because
not.
we used precautions.
And the colonel is not so green as she is cabbage looking, so... The plan we have going forwards, I believe, is a good one. We just need a good night's sleep. And then,
Oh my, yes.
if perhaps we can prevail upon Council Member Lee, he looks at his student, Ginger Lee, a Mapatch, the first Mapatch on the council. I want to say Ginger Lee was a Mapatch. And Ginger is, yes, a divination wizard. Cash has interacted with her before, but yes, she was one of Korvax's pupils. And he says, for a teleportation to Soltas Point, I think. And she simply smiles and nods. get you to bed, Colonel.
I look that bad, huh?
Your friends look worse. Sir Clearwater,
You should see the other guy. He's dead.
I appreciate your assistance with the efforts of Spear.
Thank you.
It's good to see you again.
It is my divine responsibility to see that this mess is cleaned up.
It is, but we can still be grateful. Good evening to you all. And she checks in with Iari, and Iari nods, and then the whole thing is sort of dismissed. Unless you have anything you want to say, you're off the hook.
I'm gonna go spend the night in the temple where we're keeping Ereq, just, you know, because I feel like I probably should keep an eye on that situation.
Very well. In which case, let us
Just to be
jump
clear,
over.
it's not a temple yet,
No,
is it?
it's
This
a
is
node.
Just,
It's
this
it's the
is
old
Fuckface's
it's Leandric's
Yeah,
Leandric's
that's what I said,
workshop.
Fuckface,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no one's even cleared it up, so it's got like the remnants of the mechanical apparatus that Braun and Julio used to change the orientation of the node that was being created. Essentially, it looks like a glowing green pond in the roots of the tree. Actually, let's head there now. Julio, Braun.
Like, the second we're out of the council room, Kesh is like, oh my god. I was fully expecting a mind reading spell there. Oh boy.
Oh, you got one. But not from Iari. Ginger knows. But don't worry. Ginger understands.
Oh, good. Good.
Those of us who can see often forget that those of the rest of you can't. Your actions were solid, sensible, reasonable, given the knowledge you possessed at the time.
Coming from you, that means a lot. Thank you.
Gesh. If you heard that you were destined to do something great, would you actively try to engineer the outcome?
Ooh.
Likewise, if you were told you are fated to do something terrible, would you attempt to avoid it?
Well, the last time I was kind of told I was fated to either, you know, push the future towards one of two choices. I told him to stick it up that cloaca and did something else. And it seemed to have worked out okay.
In truth, I have made a study of how people react to prophecy. Kind of my thing. And honestly, I can say those who seek to avoid their fate have a nasty habit of engineering it. So, knowing about something going to happen and it's good for you is no sure roadmap to making it happen. There are many prophecies that no one knows. The Knights of Gesmi are the guardians of those prophecies. I am asking you as a favor to me, not just to take Sir Clearwater with you, that you're doing anyway. That's happening. Deal with it.
I didn't think I could stop her.
But she has an ulterior motive. You and your...
Right.
We don't know who exactly, but you and yours are fated. There is coming a time, I believe I have told you about it already. A point in the future I cannot see past. All seers can only see beyond something they understand. Some things are just too big to understand, even for me. Sir Clearwater will help you through it. That I can tell you. but she is there to guard the prophecy itself.
Okay. Well, I will take her advice with due consideration.
And she may or may not ease up around you.
I'd understand if she didn't.
That's probably for the best. I am going to sleep now. Take care, Colonel.
Me too. Good night.
Best of luck with they're called dragons, by the way. The flying things.
Oh, that's a cool word.
They are
Dragon.
not from this universe.
I see.
It has been since before the world began. Since there were dragons here.
Wow.
And I, a seer, cannot tell you why now.
Whew.
In truth, it scares me. Like little else does these days. Because, for one such as I, the unknown is the only place where great feeling can.
Well, we will, as always, do our best not to screw it up.
And nevertheless, she persisted. And he takes his leave. He has somewhere along the line acquired a cane, and he walks away. Julio, Bron, you arrive in the Roots. You are being guarded by about 50 perch guard. But they're keeping respectful distance from the spirits. They're not interfering with anything. They're actually clearing the way a little bit, keeping people back. Some bizarre story about a spiritual festival has been concocted, so making way for a spiritual host. And people are like, oh, cool. So it's a bit of a parade-like thing, a bit.
What time of year is it right now?
It is close to gloaming tide, actually. Which is September-ish, autumn, early autumn.
Oh, well, that's perfect. That's kind of Halloween type beat. We can spin this. So on the way, I will.
The gloaming tide is an artsy cultural festival, so yeah, absolutely, yes.
Nice. So I'm gonna, on the way, wave over Mihai so she can get through the ranks of people to me and say, okay, what's the guy's name? Fucking old Turbine dude? I blanked.
Oh, Shayax.
Shayax, thank you. So, Mihai, find Shayax and prepare all the church people to do a feast. We have a bunch of new villages coming into the fold, and we have spirits to usher into the afterlife. So, get a
hold up.
Going.
What?
So I may have defeated a giant shadow creature monster and got a bunch of new folks interested in the Alderheart. So we're gonna go usher some people into the afterlife, and then we're gonna have a big party.
Sacrifices?
No.
You've got a whole bunch of people that you're going to usher into the afterlife, and then we have a party.
Okay, I know how that sounded.
It's not Christmas.
Let me rewind. No, they are already dead.
That's not better.
They're already dead. I just do it. We
I didn't do it, but
dead people.
Yeah.
We got them out of the death lane where they were stuck. It was very tragic. And we're giving them a choice if they want to continue the afterlife with Alderheart or go somewhere else. So, no human sacrifices, no souls fed to demons, just a chill time.
Okay. I'll organize a feast, I guess.
Yes!
And
you.
Borain Bitterground, the leader of the spirits, comes over to her and says, My dear, I would love to take one last look around. Would you show this old Corvum your place of worship and introduce me to your head priest? And she's like, okay. Mihai deals with things quite well. She's like, this guy is deliberately resting his spectral arm around her shoulders, and she's like,
Nice.
he says to you as he heads off, by the way, Julio, I would very much like to join with the Older Heart, but I don't know if I'm representative of everybody. Please ensure that you have a way of figuring out who wants what.
Yes, absolutely. We will show people the options, and they will choose for themselves.
I could ask nothing else. Bron, what are you doing?
Just kind of caught up, I guess. He's just happy to be there. Walking along.
Yeah.
It's not much for him to do, I guess. He's making sure like everything's taken care of. The guards are there preventing people from actually seeing the ghosts. The ghosts aren't wandering off. So for now.
The ghosts look probably more scared than everybody else. Really quite overwhelmed by the whole situation. Some are openly weeping. It's at least partially a realization of what they've lost. A few have seen loved ones, or just the place that they grew up and loved. Not all of them are from the Humblewood. In fact, most aren't, but probably a third are Humblewood natives. And this is just very obviously close to home for them. But there are a couple who have relatives in the roots who have seen them. And one is a man who took the opportunity to shout out, Fionn, my love, tell the little ones that he misses them very much, and that he's safe now.
And
then
Ron
he
heard
deliberately walks away from
that?
a crying Vulpan woman.
I am going to have, I guess. I don't know if there's time and room for a small powwow here with the ghosts. But
I think we're gonna have like a conversation with them when we get to the node. So
that might be a bit late.
Oh.
I just don't want this to catch on.
Yeah.
I might approach the person and say, look, I heard what you called out there, and I understand, but if anybody else would like to pass on messages, please give them to me. I can pass them on. I don't want to make anybody else's life harder who is here. But also, we don't want to deny you the opportunity to pass on messages and to resolve things. So I am more than happy to take messages. And I guess I would like to say that to as many ghosts as I can without people overhearing. However that's possible.
Yep. No, that's fine. Yeah, you can absolutely say that reasonably loudly several times throughout the course of the group. And he actually, the guy who said it in the first place, says, I wasn't planning on it.
Fair. Yeah.
You can't not look. And then I saw her, and I didn't want to be the man who ignored her.
Yep.
But your, I think, is a good offer. Thank you.
Yeah. We also don't want you to have to make that choice. That sucks.
Sometimes sometimes just have to do what you have to do. Thank you.
Yeah.
You get to the back end of the routes. The sort of you have to go quite deep to get here. But yeah, you get there without too much fanfare. The guards actually widened their cordon around you, keeping people further away, and that actually does a fair amount to assist with Bron's efforts. They're sort of like we need to, let's everybody spread out a little bit more. You get to Leandric's domain. or rather the new Alderheart node. Mihai does seem to have cleared it up a little bit, but yeah, it's sort of a large spiraling passageway. It's not particularly wide. It's not a large place. So when you get outside of it, you probably could not fit all 80-odd spirits in there at once. So you probably want to ask them before they go in who wants in, who doesn't. And you find an unexpected person out the front. Sage is there, and says to you, Julio, a feast is on the making. These folk are interesting. Hello, everybody. It's so lovely to see you all. So marvelous you've managed to make it back, our lovely friends. So how many are we feeding?
I don't know yet. Think a lot, and then double that.
Right.
And
Right.
I give her money. I give her money. I have money. I own money. I give her 50 gold pieces.
Okay. She goes, oh, good. Okay, thank you. I was going to make it work, but that's easier. Thank you, Julio. Okay, right. Yeah. She bustles off and sort of patting people on the... And, oh, sorry, didn't mean to. As she just puts a hand straight through. And she's being deliberately very careful about not invading their personal space because they don't really have... so yeah, what do you do? How do you say?
Okay, I turn to the ghostly folks and say, so here within the roots, there's not a lot of space, so I will ask you to think about if you want to join the Alderheart here. On the road, I've told you of Alderheart's kindness and of the things it did, selflessly protecting everyone living inside. But I shall not be persuading anyone to do this. With my own eyes, I have seen the kindness of Alderheart. With my own body, I have felt its power and its care. And that is the only thing I can tell you. Within these walls, there is a node of its power where you can join with Alderheart and have a peaceful afterlife. But if anyone does not want to proceed, please stay here for a while before we accompany everyone else and then figure out if you wish to go back to the death plane or the life plane.
There is we do need to point out, I think, in respect to Ereq, there is a possibility, if your body is still alive, that you could return to your body. If it is still alive, I think that
They'd have already gone.
True.
Yeah, they'd be.
They've
these
already...
people are dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Two.
Not gonna say that.
You notice 3, including Shazlex, who should have come through. You sort of think you saw them go through, and they're not there on the other side. Yeah, because their body would have to still be alive on this side, which is low chances. But yeah, there were a couple.
But
Yeah,
hopefully they're going to get Riley's body back in time
Yeah.
for us to...
And there is a life node within the route, so it's like
Yes.
we can sort you out afterlife-wise one way or t'other real quick. You're not going to get anybody saying, no, I want to go back to the death plane. That place kicked ass. They left there specifically.
Yeah.
So these are the 2 options they have. Or they can just roam the material until they fade away, at which point there's a good chance they may get zipped back to the death plane anyway, and they have been told that. So, yeah.
Yeah. So how many do I accompany into the node?
Avis, can you please roll !50?
Roll high.
Me, baby? Yep, no. I knew you wouldn't want to, Bish Blood. Or if, there we go, 24. A total of 55.
Out of?
Of 81.
Oh, so majority. Neat. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I took, 24. I said in my head, 31 of them are down. 31 are
Nice.
convinced. Then you have the other 50, and we'll take whatever and add that to that. So 24 plus 31.
Awesome. Okay. Well, Bron, would you mind staying with the rest to keep them company? Okay.
course.
Um,
Yeah.
And
Eric's
and I will
body
ask-
is like slumped over Braun's shoulder.
Oh,
Oh,
we also yes,
never mind.
that's here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nearby.
Okay.
I mean, it's not his body.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
Eric. It's not. It's all of him. It's his soul as well.
He's not
trying
dead,
to
he's
convince
just
us that
sleeping.
He's just
Dead?
very sleepy.
Uh-huh.
You could leave him
Okay.
outside. Like, he's not going to die while you do this, though.
I might as well just see if I can call the ooze. Oh, ooze.
Ooze.
Ooze,
Actually, the
please.
person to ask that would be Mihai, because she has an ooze following her around at all times. She's got
Oh.
Oozathy. So yeah,
Oozathy.
Oozathy.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, Mihai comes back and yes, you saw it. Where I think the best place to do this though is in the node. Oozathy pretty much immediately just leaps onto Ereq. And sort of gloops up his thighs, but there's not a lot of Oozathy. He's quite a small ooze. So, yeah, he only manages to cover about a third of Ereq. You'll need a couple more oozes to do the full job. But Oozathy sees it and goes, there's a sort of a warbling, chittering noise out of this light, soft, sort of baby blue or ooze, before he goes, chitters and just leaps onto Ereq. Kind of like he's going to sit on his lap, but it just kind of wraps around him a little bit. Yeah, she goes, yeah, I think take them both now in there after Julio's done what he's doing.
And
Yeah.
I will lead the ghosts into the big chamber, the round chamber with the node. How is it looking, by the way? Is it looking good?
It's looking like not a bad place to spend the rest of your life. It is
Sweet.
essentially a very
Sweet.
peaceful little forest grove, but completely within a 50-foot square dome of tree.
Mm-hmm. In that case,
there are
I
plants
will-
growing out, there are ferns, there's this beautiful, it's a lake, it's essentially a little lake, but it's glowing green water. It's peaceful. The only thing is that it's completely lacking in animal noises. And it is lit by a soft blue glow from the large number of oozes on the walls.
Okay. In that case, I will gesture to the to the pool, and I will say, "This is the entrance." And I will say, "Aldehart, these actually question." Would these be like the first people that got into the afterlife through Aldehart?
This is a new thing.
That's fucking cool. Okay, so I'm gonna say, Aldehart, these are the first souls that entrust you with their afterlife. I know you will treat them well, but please lead them to better pastures. And I don't have many spell slots left, but I have 3
have
first
any?
level spell slots. Yes, I do. I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
3 first level spell slots. So what I'm gonna do is, while they go in, I will use my last remaining first level spell slots to be continuously casting Healing Word and basically like praying for them as they go in.
Very well. Birch. It's pronounced Birch, Bishop Blood. Birches love a glade. Yeah. Julio, when you say that, and you reach out to the older heart for your magic, because that's where yours comes from, or at least a good portion of it, I imagine you placing yourself in front of the lake as you make this sort of prayer out loud to the rest of these 50-odd souls, looking at you with a degree of somewhere between trepidation and hope as you raise your hands. From the cloak of flowers and vines that you are wearing, and from the ground around you, an archway sort of grows out of moss and vines, some reaching out from your shoulders and forms around you and then leaves you so that you are just standing there in the middle of a mossy, viney archway. and you feel more than hear welcome. And it's just one big pulse. And every single one of you in the room feels welcome. Just hit you in the chest. And all the oozes on the walls pulse their soft blue at the same time. And Borain says, I have not felt such unconditional. And then he walks through the archway. He pats you on the shoulder as he goes. And as he passes through, he fades. He steps into the pool and he says, don't know why I'm surprised. It's so warm. And then he's gone. And one by one, first in singles, then in groups, the rest of them follow through.
Okay. Julio will touch the edge of the pool and say, "Thank you."
And you hear in your head, more. No.
Me.
Okay.
Very hungry.
Julio kind of wipes
Feed
the
me.
tear from his little face and says, "Okay, Uzathi, I think it's safe now to put Ereq into the water, and we'll gently put him
Oh,
in."
I thought
Oh,
we were
not in the
slapping
water.
him into some ooze.
In the
oozing
oozes.
him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bron, actually, while Julio's been doing this, I imagine you watch the first few, and then you're like, okay, I'll deal with Ereq now. Still kind of keeping your eye on the whole thing, because it's pretty fucking amazing to watch people finally entering the afterlife in a nice way. Yeah. You go to one of the walls and gesture a couple of the oozes down, and they accommodate, like they understand what it is you're wanting. And linking together with Uzathi, they form a sort of, like a waterbed situation that Ereq sort of floats in, and you ease him back into it. And once he is submerged completely by the ooze, the color seems to return a little bit, like he's the bright shade now, but it's actually because you're looking at it through a blue filter. And Bron, you notice, as you look up, there is in Alderheart's script, in the writing of the Humblewood, the name Borain Bitterground is slowly forming in sort of roots and vines along the wall. Quite small, but the name is there.
In Pitterground.
It was the
Have
dude
I
who
encountered-
went first. He
Ah.
This is kind of like a crypt now,
Ah.
so the names will be slowly appearing, I
Mm.
suppose. That's really cool.
That's lovely. As this happens and this turns to go, I assume Ron meets up with Julio, or Julio has seen all of this happen, and I just mentioned, Julio, I know this is your thing and not mine, but have you thought about maybe, I don't know, making the ooze some kind of sacred creature of the older heart? Because
The angel of the slime.
I mean, they saved your life. Looks like they're saving Ereq's life. They've done us a really good service. They, they could have fought us a lot more. I think they deserve something.
Yes, I agree. We need, if this is a place now that we use for saying for the final farewell to the dead, then we need to make sure it is protected, it is clean and loved and cared for, and the oozes are a big part of it. It's kind of a good example of the microcosm that Aldehyde allows. People who live within it are cared for.
Hmm.
And also, Bron, it's not my thing. It's our thing. And I'll say, okay, let's go.
All the feels tonight.
I think we've been going for a hot minute now, so we will go for a short breaklet there. But shall we say, Julio, for the sake of time more than anything else, you come out, you introduce the others to the life node, and then you have a big party.
Yes, sir.
Entertaining your folks, showing them the wonders of the older heart, showing them do you show them the node?
The villagers or the ghosts?
The villagers.
I think, well, it is it's not really hidden, isn't it? Like
the older heart node is both the older heart node is kind of hidden. They both are actually, because the life node it is part of the church, but it's not one that you don't go there to some people are occasionally allowed in to pray to it to seek guidance from the plane of life. But you're kind of transitioning away from that now a little bit, I suppose, as a spiritual leader.
And also,
so
wasn't the life node like behind a tapestry or something?
A veil of vines, yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna show them the entrance to the Aldehyde node, and start while the party is like happening. I will also start giving Shax and Mihai instructions on how to make it into an actual like crypt of the Aldehyde. So I think we'll definitely show them this is where the resting place is, and this is where we party. Ayo.
And you have a great party. Kesh arrives, Coral in tow. I feel like Coral probably isn't letting Kesh out of her sight. Or at least one of you out of her sight. You get down there. Coral probably massively disapproves of having a party when there is a fucking dragon on the loose. But, you guys are tired, and you're not going dragon hunting at night when it's a shadow dragon, so might as well party and then sleep.
Kesh is mainly here for the food, and then she's gonna disappear and go to sleep.
Yeah. Kesh either heads into the older heart node.
Coral does not partake. She stands in a corner, leaning against a wall near the entrance with her arms folded.
Yeah.
And if Kesh goes to bed early, she will let her. Kesh is not the person who she's keeping her eye on.
Cool. Then we will have a short little breaklet, ladies and gents. Be back 5 to 10 and progress with the next part of this dragon hunt adventure, what we are on. So, we'll be back very shortly. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Vast ahoy and g'day, mateys. We be back for some more Humblewood. The gang is rested. The spirits are in an appropriate spirit-holding receptacle / afterlife. And everybody has had a long rest and recovered all their spell slots. Yay! And now you've got to go.
I really needed that.
And now you've got to go and find a dragon. You guys gather up. I think, Julio, where did you sleep? Would you have gone back to your super secret hideout?
Over a keg.
I probably we do have the little bed that we share in the church, right? We have a little we slept there last time when we.
Oh, you and Braun had a bed dragged in for you once because you guys
I have like a little room to
like
chill,
passed
like
out.
little...
No.
I thought I have like a cooler and like a PlayStation, like a little man cave.
It's a little weird. It's a heart-shaped bed with a mirror above it. No, when you guys nearly killed yourselves, stopping a death node, they brought a bed. They just sort of dragged a bed in for you, but no, it wasn't left there.
Damn it!
So yeah,
I need a man cave.
your
in the
lodgings,
church.
your man cave in the older hut would absolutely be the super secret hideout.
I see. In that case, I will when the party winds down, go back to our secret, super secret house.
Cool.
We'll follow
Cash
you.
isn't there. She's asleep next to the slimes that are holding Ereq.
Aw.
Covered in
Oh.
bugs.
Yeah. The
That's
bugs are actually, Cash, you wake up covered in slimes.
Oh, hello.
Whoop.
Good morning.
No, they've left your head free, but yeah, they sort of ooze off you and gloop back into the larger bed that Ereq is occupying. Coral accompanies Julio up to the super secret hideout. Coral, I think Julio and Bron can infer, is kind of allowed here.
Where?
In
I
fact,
mean, if we trust Coral to go into a fight with a dragon with us,
yeah.
I think this makes sense.
Well, actually,
I feel
so
like Carl's just sticking with us, and there's not much we can do about that.
yeah. Actually, when you go to open the entryway, Coral does it.
What? Whoa! Whoa!
Coral appears to know the sort of the code or whatever it is that you use to access.
Sir Clearwater, if I may ask, what the fuck?
You may not. Shall we retire?
Well, I did, so...
She
Yeah, no,
leaves.
like, really, how do you know this? Who told you?
She works for the goddess of knowledge.
She just knows things. She
Sometimes.
just knows things, I see. Okay, what number am I thinking of?
69, 420,
Okay.
7.
3 inches.
Yeah.
Hey!
It's big
three
on a
and half, Thank
jabin.
you very much. Yeah. Above average.
The average size of a watermelon.
Yeah. Well,
Think
As I drag Bron to our quarters, I'm like, I don't trust her.
Bron has a plate full from the party. He's just stacked up snacks because he's not going to sleep.
Oh. You're not gonna take
He-
short long rest?
I mean, he will sleep. He will sleep, but first he just has to figure out there was just some magic something yesterday. He's leveling up,
Okay.
and he's just
All right.
figuring out like, what is this? Wait,
Why
I
is
thought of a
everyone
new.
so sus?
I need to like, yeah, he needs to get this done. Just do a little bit of like, couple of notes in his notepad, and he's just got a lot of snacks.
Yeah.
From the party, on a plate.
Coral, you are shown
Staying
into
up with party pies and sausage
Yeah.
rolls,
just eating
Yes,
the
yes.
leftovers.
spring rolls.
Coral, you are
Oh.
shown into this place. Now, while you did know the combination you knew how to get in, you didn't know what it looked like on the inside. This place is, there's only one word for it, magical. Almost holy.
I was gonna ask if I saw it as holy.
I think the very fact that you have been tasked with this is an implicit acknowledgement from Gesme that this is something she is approving of. This endeavor
Okay.
is, and you know the prophecy. We have been raided. Lorite, thank you very much for the raid, you bloody champions. Let us have a bit of a shout out for the wonderful Lorite. How was your Skyrim adventures? A shout out at the lore.
Did you get the Beacon of Meridia? And if so, how many times?
The Lorite. Adana, how are you, my lovely dear? Thank you for joining us. Thank you for bringing your peeps. I probably did that wrong. Never mind. Shout out. I have to do it at. There we go. The There we go. That's why it didn't pop up before. Boom. There we go. Yeah. If you would like some other fantastic D&D goodness, go and check out the lore right there. Ardana is brilliant. Got out of the reach with 2,000 gold bounty. Nice. Very nice. No beacon yet.
What did you
Not
do?
level 10. Okay.
What kind of war crimes did you commit?
I was watching for a little while. It looked like magic fighting in a cave with zombies, maybe.
Is the reach where you have to break out of prison, the mining prison, or is that somewhere else?
Monocled Moose. Not level
Yes.
10 yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. In the big city. Yeah, man.
Monocled Noose, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey!
That's
You
a
wee
great name.
scallywag. It is a very solid name. In actual fact, it's a Humblewood character right there. That's what that is. Monocled Moose. That's a servant. So yes, welcome. We are Corsair's Cove. We do D&D and other TTRPG goodness, and we are currently playing Humblewood, which is a third-party setting from the Hit Point Press for 5e D&D. And a new party joins a new player joins the table. Coral Clearwater. Yes, this place is. It is holy, but at the same time not. It is. You are probably more familiar than most with deity and divine magic. This is not that. But it is absolutely spiritual.
Like it's homemade?
Yeah, pretty much.
DIY gods.
Knockoff. Yeah.
Mhm.
God Moonshine.
Okay. Yep. Coral
I
has
don't think
feelings
this
about
helps our like view, like Coral's view on us. I don't think it's helping at all.
that. She's only tolerating it because she was sent here by her god.
Yeah. I love it. Cool. So the following morning dawns. Bron is probably a little tired, but like he has had a good night. Like I feel like hard work is almost better than sleep for Bron. Yeah, he looks like
just puts his mind in that like intuitive space. where all the
almost
rules
like
kinda go
trancing
out.
for an elf. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's restful even if it's not letting his brain turn off. I don't think he does deputized heresy. I don't think he actually can turn his brain off. It's really just turning his body off.
Bron does definitely have ADHD.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Julio is queer coded. Bron is ADHD coded. Cash is anxiety coded, I think.
Ereq is
Also-
highly autistic.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, artistic.
Yeah.
Saying that Julio is queer coded, it does a disservice to how queer he is in literal text.
Yeah, well, yes.
Queer coded.
Sure. So, you are... You wake up, you gather, you prepare yourselves, and you head out. Ginger Lee meets you outside the town council chambers and sends you off to Soltar's Point without too much fanfare, to be honest. And
Has Kesh been back here since the last time?
I don't think so.
I don't think she has either.
Since the
Wow.
last time when you were here, when you fought a wake worm and stuff, I don't think
And picked
Julio
up a
has.
Julio.
Julio has, because Julio would have come
Yeah.
and gone. Bron came through here on his way back. Yeah, so you've been here recently. Yeah. You head back there. I'm now trying to find the music for the place.
That's sad. Ereq actually would have really enjoyed coming back here. Too
Yeah.
bad he's
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah, so
yeah,
sad.
Unconscious.
That is dead.
real shame. Okay.
On the road to Soltar's Point, can I talk to Sir Clearwater?
You certainly can.
Okay. What would Sir Clearwater
is
be
there
doing?
a road? I thought we were being teleported straight there.
I meant just heading up to the branches to get
To be-
teleported.
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sir Clearwater, we're going into battle probably right after this, right? What's
Yes.
your thing? What do you do in battle?
I hit things hard and I stop you from getting hit.
Hey,
I like,
like
it.
that.
protection
I like
gang.
that. Yeah.
She
Not in.
she has several weapons slung over her. She's in this full plate armor, which is made of adamantine. She has this shield, which is pulsing every now and then. And when it is appropriate, she is either with or on her worm steed, Verity. So,
Verity.
yeah,
Nice.
she's not subtle about what kind of combatant she is.
No.
That all is really cool. You don't really like cast like spells in battle. Like you're not gonna like cast darkness in the middle of the fight, right? That's not gonna happen.
That would be idiotic and foolish. No, of course I won't.
Oh.
I like you.
So yeah, you return.
Actually,
oh, sorry.
while she's being asked about spells and stuff, she will she'll put her hand up to Julio and mutter a prayer to Gesme.
Oh, okay.
And she will. Her health is probably lower than most others, but she will cast aid on Julio, Kesh, and herself.
Nice.
Oh shit.
Bollocks.
Does that give us temp HP?
It does, and it gives you straight
no,
miss more hit points.
Yeah, 5.
Ooh.
For 8 hours, your hit point max is
Is increased by
up
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Which means you can be healed above your maximum as well.
A quick question: Does Coral's magic feel different to what I and
How
Ereq
does
do?
it look?
Let me bring up my little PDF that I have with the Gesme on it. Okay.
He's quite fire aligned.
Yeah, but like so is Ereq, and I don't want to really do that.
That's
so.
true.
There's like a spectral burning oak branch, which goes to hit you, and you hear like a ethereal clanging sound, and it kind of like forges spiritual armor around everyone, because
That's
Gesme
cool.
is also the Emerithon of the Forge.
Yep.
That's really cool.
Yeah, cool.
Hey,
so yeah, you are all
that's
wearing I reckon it's little plates. And yeah, sort of adornments like you would suits of armor you can
You know what it is? It's the plate isn't on your body. The plate is on your soul.
Ooh, yes.
There's
It
a
sort
sentence.
of it appears there and then sort of sinks into you and you can feel it resting against you. Yeah. I like
That's
that.
cool.
There is
And
on
burning slightly.
on a traditional on a fairly heavy duty piece of medieval suit, you will often have a piece sort of adjoining to the shoulder guard. There would be a little shield where you can wear your personal heraldry. It doesn't serve any particularly good function. It does guard the armpit a little bit. I cannot remember what they are called, but it sort of appears like that, and then that sort of sinks into you.
That looks cool. Is that armor?
Of a sort, yes.
Ooh, armor is very cool. I like your armor, by the way.
As you should.
Mm.
I like yours.
Haha, thank you. It was a gift from a very close friend. Oh, from Ereq, who you've met.
Yeah, but they are
Briefly, I
not
guess.
together. And Julio's just like waving the eyebrows at Braun like, oh? Oh?
Yeah, because I got it from Eric's mum, so that would be weird.
I meant to say he's so single.
An armor guard. There you go. Brigadier Lamela. Third thing.
Um,
Armor guard, I think, is the term, yeah.
Anyone who cares to notice would notice that at the mention of Ereq, Coral frowns a bit and her body language closes up.
Can I insight that? Because that tickles
That's
Kesh's spidey
us.
senses.
Yeah, sure.
Me too.
And,
Me too.
I went to as well because I've got a new thing.
oh, come
Oh,
on!
Nope.
Roll a
Oof.
1. So that's 13
Plus
because I'm amazing at
12.
insight, but that's still bullshit.
Damn.
I now have advantage on insight checks, which is great because I've got a terrible wisdom. So
If only we could combine the two, John, that would be great. My amazing stat and your advantage.
oh well. Yes, that would never happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly hidden. I don't have like a DC for it or anything. I mean, it's not hard to infer that, to notice that she has really been keeping an eye on Julio. But you get the impression that really the person she blames the most in making her job harder is Ereq, who you wouldn't have been able to open a pathway between planes without.
So really, it was up to him to stop this bullshit.
And he should have known better.
My
The fact that we
researchers
talked him
do
into
not
it
appear
means
to
nothing at all.
well, yes,
So
and it
this
was
was
actually
a-
Ereq didn't want to
Even
do
if
this,
she
but
knew
yeah,
that, she wouldn't care.
because he still did
Well,
it.
good.
All right. Well, this is a very awkward conversation. Let's go to the portal.
Yeah, you go, you teleport. You arrive, and a lovely sea breeze shocks you upon your arrival. You are not in the town square exactly. So Saltar's Point, for those who have not been here before, or haven't watched the stream where they
It
were.
was a few seasons ago.
It was a fair few seasons ago. The town is built into the cliffs.
Season 1.
It was. The town is built into the cliffs around a large natural harbour. The buildings are sort of white-faced, white plaster over brick, where they stand proud of the rock face itself. A lot are just sort of dug into the walls. It is quite a steep-sided town, and there's an awful lot of verticality in it. So there are bridges crisscrossing the entire thing. It is sort of roughly a half circle on the wall of the cove, and there are also 3 large pillars sticking of rock sticking out of the water itself, delineating the other half of the harbour. Sort of the tallest is the central one, and has atop it an actual lighthouse burning, and there are bridges crisscrossing at every level between these 3 pillars and the walls of the town itself, of the cliffs themselves. In the center, you can see a large space has been left clear, so that ships can easily traverse it, but there is a crisscross patchwork of jetties and boat docks and things like that, wharfs and so forth, a groin even here or there, and it is traditionally a fishing village. The Humblewood does not really possess a fleet per se. There is, however, a nautical arm of the Perch Guard. It is the only arm of the Perch Guard that still actually operates outside of the Alderheart. In all other places, their duties have been turned over to the Wildwood Brigadiers. However, the Sea Guard the Coast Guard, actually, that was the name of them, still operate out of Saltar's Point, and their leader, who you have met, is one Forrest Timbale, Commodore Forrest Timbale now, actually, and from memory, I think he was a Vulpin. You guys met him in Season 1, and when I say you guys, I mean Kesh. and Julio a bit. Julio had just joined the party.
Well,
Yes,
Julio
I remember
lived in
him.
Salters Point.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
Julio also lived here. And speaking
Yes.
of living here, Julio's ex, well, not ex, Petra
Petra,
Cloudburst, a
My ex-boss.
Marin Raptor, ex-boss, that was what I was looking for, yes, is also here. So you pop into existence now. Teleportation in Alderheart is not super unusual. However, at Salters Point, it's a little bit rarer. So when 4 people, 2 in heavy armor, sort of appear out of fucking nowhere, you guys just sort of go like, oh, goodness me, there's something of a commotion. And one lady comes up to you and says, oh, good, you're here to deal with the lizard thing.
Yes, very much. But please, point us towards the lizard thing.
Oh, well,
already looking
it
to see if she can see any damage.
There appears no damage. This woman is excited rather than panicked. And she says, oh, well, they fired some ballista at it from atop the towers, and it drove the awful thing off. It headed east last we saw, I think.
Lister. Ooh.
Coral, what little you know of dragons, which is probably eclipses the knowledge the rest of them have, that sounds like fucking bullshit. A dragon that size, and you're the only one who actually saw it. A dragon that size, driven, that'd be like scaring away a human by throwing toothpicks. Like, it's not really a... or making a bow out of a piece of paper sort of thing. Like, you're like, oh, and? So,
Wait,
but
did she say east? Driven
yes,
east?
headed east along the
Towards
coastline.
the coast.
Along the coast, yeah.
Right, okay.
She says,
How would it have... okay. Right. Can I insight check this woman?
you may?
Just because I don't understand... Like, it was coming from the west. So...
North.
How it would have... Well, I got a 5, so whatever. But, yeah,
It came from the north, got to the coast, and then turned east. Would be roughly what you're guessing from this, what you're getting from this.
Okay.
Yeah, it came generally from the north. And I suppose the logic would be it headed for the strongest concentration of life. That would be probably what it can sense. And there's a fair old whack of life and people and souls here. But when it got here, it chose not to attack. Is the
Weird.
best you can guess.
Why do I feel like it might be looking for something?
She says,
When
well,
you
if you
said
want to
went
talk to the
east-
Admiral, head over there. And she goes back about her business.
Yeah.
Unless you have any questions you would like to ask her. Or Petra.
Nah, she's
Both would
useless.
know. Yeah, she knows nothing.
Has Coral been here before?
I would actually say this is, if not your hometown, you have family here.
Great. Okay. Then I would have an idea where the Commodore's office is.
Yes.
So I will head in that direction and we'll say, let's go speak to the corridor, the Commodore.
Absolutely.
Commodore is an equivalent rank to Colonel.
Good to know.
Roughly.
All right, we go to their office.
Along the way, Ron is going to, I guess, explain what's going on to Riley, which Bishop Blood has brought up. Probably has
So you
no
did
idea
bring
what the
her.
fuck is going on.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. We didn't
so-
leave
She
her
could
in
get-
safety.
Well,
Is she in
maybe we
Stephen?
gave her the choice. Yes,
She is
she's
in
Stephen.
Stephen. Yeah.
So yeah, well, I can always pack her up and put her in my backpack if she wants.
You have
Okay.
also deprived her of any ability to, like, do anything about, like, she doesn't have the boomstick attached, so she's in no way dangerous right now.
Oh, she doesn't have the boomstick attached. That's right.
Mm.
Oh, so she's probably in the back. Well, no, we probably left her behind then. If she has
Okay.
no If she has
Yeah,
no
chilling in the secret
useful
hideout.
help,
If you left her,
yeah.
like, you could leave her with Gabby.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
makes sense.
Oh yeah. Definitely
Gabby
broad
probably would have
dead.
been the first place you dropped. You so like, we just needed to make one stop this morning, and then we're good to go. You stop and say, "Hi, Gabby. Hey, this talking pod is actually a woman. Please see if you can't fix us some eyes or something. Maybe, I don't know. Hands. Um,
Yes.
top quality. joke, yeah.
Also, Gabby, Ereq isn't here.
Yes. Yeah. Probably also mentioned that. Just yeah. FYI.
Oh, Ereq, tell her where Ereq is, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's happened to Ereq and
Okay,
I assume there was a smaller conversation that happened.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
caught up. Yeah.
You
We're not
had-
hiding it from her.
you had to talk to Forrest, yeah, he is in his office. You are ushered in quite quickly. Combination of one of the Knights of Gesme and Colonel Glitterweave gets you through most doors. And when doors aren't open, I think Coral just walks straight through them anyway, leaving a coral-shaped hole in Wile E. Coyote style. And yes, Forrest said, Colonel. Actually, he would say, mate, Colonel. Congratulations on the promotion.
Thank you. We're looking for a giant lizard.
Yeah, I thought you might be. I was kind of actually expecting you, to be honest. So, we drove it off.
Okay.
We've got a bunch of basically giant crossbows mounted on top of the pillars, one on each. Pretty decent for like hampering ship's rigging and stuff like that. That's kind of what they're designed for, but you can load solid shot. And it did not like that at all. Take that, you wee beastie. I might, next time a wake worm comes along, I might give it a try.
Which
Cool.
direction did you drive it off towards?
East, headed along the coastline. Beyond my
Which
jurisdiction.
direction?
East.
The coast goes north and south.
I apologize. I am turned 90 degrees. It would be north.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean east? That's
The picture
yeah, okay.
of it, I have it in my head, is orientated so that it fits nicely on a landscape A4 page, when in fact the wood is actually 90 degrees to that. So it north is so yeah. All of the things I've been saying have been very confusing for Brendan, who is looking at an actual map. The thing was headed east and then went north.
Yeah, okay.
I apologize, not south. Yeah.
So either towards the Abium or to Brackenmill. Or potentially towards the Older Heart. That's what we should be concerned about.
Seem to stay on the coast.
Then Brackenmill.
Until we lost sight of it.
Can I think of any sort of supernatural thing that might be to the north of Saltar's Point that might be drawing its attention? Like, a kind of nodes, I suppose. Are there any, like...
Nodes?
Like the Scorched Grove or shit like
No.
that?
I'm gonna get my fucking map. Hang on a second.
Brendan has
Also-
an idea, but Coral would not have that idea.
I keep thinking the town is called Salt Ass.
Nice.
That's what you
I
get
mean-
after you've lived there for a while.
Yeah, Salt Ass Point.
Yeah, no, Saltas is the name of the residence.
That's the picture in the book of Saltar's Point, actually.
That's cool.
Oh, it's pretty.
That's cool.
I have a more thorough image in my mind, but yeah, that's... There you go. Alrighty. Yeah. So, that's our map. That's where we are. That's what we're looking at. And Salthouse Point is down here. There. And the dragon headed this way. Up along the coast. Which will eventually take you up to Brackenmill's way. But
If its objective isn't before that.
Yes. I was considering, because this is the image, this is the map I have in my head. So I was considering that to be south. But I actually think on the world map, it's like that. It's held sideways, which is really confusing when that's the map you go off in your head, because that's the one you memorized. The other east, yes. So yeah, did get a little bit turned around in my head. West, yes. Because I have a big map of it. I have a beautiful, it's actually cloth, soused. Yeah. So yes, that's where it went. He's like, yeah, I don't know if a few ballista bolts were enough to make the bugger come. My suspicion is that what it was looking for wasn't here.
That was
Cash, you
my
can make a
concern as
history, as can Coral, as can Julio. I don't think Bron would have any idea. But Coral
Just hit a
has a
bunch of dragon.
particular reason for knowing. So maybe might.
History 16.
Coral got a 17 with a
With
minus
a
one.
-1.
Very nice.
Damn.
And Cash, a 3. No, Cash has no freaking clue.
That's the
Cash's
second one I've rolled in a row.
Cash's knowledge of this land ends where the land ends. So
I'm
Julio,
displeased.
Julio, you know that these waters are inhabited by a undead crew and ship.
Oh, right. Yeah. We know. Our buddy. Our
You
friend,
are aware
our
of
chum.
that. Coral,
Yes, sir.
you
Oh,
are aware.
shit.
And also, the other thing, Julio, that you would be aware of is that you were sent to retrieve a magical sunken object by a lady at the beginning of season 2 who lives in Salthouse Point, Madame Silvestri. So
Yeah.
sunken treasures of magical power. Coral, you would know specifically because, unless you have a strong feeling about it, your niece, who might have told her dear aunt about this, retrieved a similarly magical object from a sunken treasure relatively recently in the area near Salthouse Point, because they live here. However, she is a student at the Avium.
Do I know anything about the nature of this item?
There were several magical objects in it, but the big one was it was essentially a staff that could control creatures of the deep. Aquaman of the staff, essentially.
I was expecting it to
wonder-
have some affiliation with death.
You are asking about sort of magical things and things that might be of interest to a powerful creature. These things. You also know that the seas are laden with monsters and beasties. Yeah.
I wonder
Do I
if we
have
could
any-
ask Arfa to help us then. I wonder if he's around and he knows.
Oh, you, Oh, been ready by Jack as well! Oh, Jack, you bloody champion! Hey, guys! How was... Jack was playing a game about Laika, the first being in space. An RPG about the dog they sent into space. How was it,
Nice.
What do
mate?
you think?
Hopefully the ending was better than Laika's ending. Yes, let's have a little quick shout out at the Jack Square Peg. Jack. There we go. Guys, yeah, if you are up for some more TTRPG goodness, go and check out Jack Squarepeg. He is a wonderful D&D streamer. And also other things. He actually doesn't stream a lot of D&D. It's mostly Call of Cthulhu. But some other stuff. I cried, but happy tears. Good. I'm glad. All my Slavic homies love Laika. I mean, yeah, Karen and I considered it for a name for one of our new dogs, but opted against because it was a bit sad. Who have we lost? Lost someone. Lost Karen. No.
Karen, no.
Karen, no.
Karen, no, don't be sad over Laika.
No, we went with Rosie instead. And
Aw,
Rosie.
cute.
Rosie or Ruby? Yeah, it was Rosie. Rosie was the name of a guide dog that that helped her person escape the two towers.
Ah, yes.
And down like
I've heard.
40 or 30 stories of staircases because the lifts were out. Amazing hero dog. And that dog survived. Unfortunately, we didn't keep the dog we named Rosie. Because she was really stressed out about the rabbits.
My brain is broken because when you said the guide dog helped her person escape the two towers, I'm like, Gondor had guide dogs?
Yes. Yeah.
You're such a nerd.
And I'm not really even into
Yeah, not even
Gondor,
particularly.
Mm.
She knew Frodo? No, she was nowhere near that tower. Mind you, Frodo would have solved that so fucking quickly if he had a guide dog with him. He's like, drop the ring. He's like, no, I can't. Dog pushes in. I expect
If you think that Frodo would sacrifice a dog,
No,
to
I don't
get
think
the
Frodo
ring
would.
in.
No.
I think the dog would sacrifice a Frodo, though.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
No, you're supposed to go in the hole. Come on. What were we saying? So, yeah, that's what you know about what's in the area. Ferris says, what else has he thinks? Yeah,
Oh,
he says,
sure.
I've sent scouts out. Such a big beastie flying so high, we'd expect to see it. Interesting thing, we haven't. I think it's probably nesting. It was sighted by one of my scout ships diving
Okay. Into the water?
into the water, yes.
Okay, sir, have you seen perhaps like an undead haunted ghost ship around here?
No, not for some time. There she is.
Oh.
Hi.
Ghost
Sorry.
ship? Julio,
Yes.
who have you been associating with this time?
Don't worry. Okay, this is actually not my fault. It's Cash's friend, who I
Isn't it, though?
accompanied to the ghost. Listen.
You were the one who
No.
was there. Cash was at a wedding.
Long story short,
Yeah, why
our
weren't you at
friend-
that wedding?
If you'd been at that wedding, then this whole thing probably wouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
You were left
yeah,
in
no,
charge
that
of
was on me.
Arthur.
I dropped the ball. I should have been at the wedding, obviously. Yeah, that's on me, guys. But yeah, our friend is a captain of a ghost ship somewhere in this area. So if the creature's been diving in, he would probably know. Can I message Arthur? Can I do a sending?
Yes. Technically, you can. Because I can't stop you. You can. You're allowed to. All right. I'll see if I can do Arthur's voice. It's probably going to sound a lot like Jason
Arthur.
Statham.
Assailed by a giant lizard.
Yeah.
Someone
so
ring
that's what I'm
Nikolai.
gonna say.
Yeah.
Arthur does feel like the Humblewood equivalent of Jason
Of Jason Statham. Yeah.
Absolutely.
If offered the opportunity to become a ghost ship, I think Jason Statham might take it. Certainly a lot of his characters would. All right, yeah, you send to Arthur.
I
What
sent
25
Arthur.
words do you send to Arthur?
Fuck, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say.
It's been a fucking while. Like,
Yeah.
you've had this
It's your
ability for
boy.
how long?
I don't know.
Months?
Oh, when did I get it? Yeah, I guess. No, like a couple weeks. It's been. Actually, no, we did have a downtime. Ah. Anyway, it's your boy Julio.
Sorry, new
Strong.
ability.
Sorry, with this. It's your boy Julio.
New ability, who dis?
There's a shadow monster diving into waters near Salter's Point. Have you seen? Where are you? What's up?
You get back. Julio? Shadow, that sounds cool. I'm not anywhere near, mate. I'm down near the Tangle Wilds. There's some very cool stuff down here.
Okay. Arfa. Okay.
He sounds like he got cut off mid-sentence because he doesn't know how sending works.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Shit, I'm gonna. Fuck, how many sendings do I? Okay.
Like 2,
I'll do
3.
one more. Fuck it. I'll do one more just to be nice and be like, hope undead pirate ship is going awesome. If we have the currently saving the world, but if we have the time, we should totally hang out, pirate to pirate. Be safe out there, my man.
That would be so great. So, is this something we can do like on the regular, like just have a chat? That'd be so cool. I've missed you, Julio. The spirits are really kind of a bit boring.
Oh my god, I'm not gonna spend my last 3rd level slot to answer his phone. But he's gonna think that I'm ghosting him. No. Okay.
Hey, you've ghosted him once already.
Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna spend my last 3rd level fucking spell slot.
It's fine.
Before the battle
in the
even
ship of
begins.
ghosts.
He's on a literal
gonna
ship of
say-
ghosts.
This takes a lot of energy out of me, but I want you to know when I can, I'll message again. Please don't ask me anything right now. I can't answer.
Oh, I'm really sorry. That's cool, though. I'd love to hear from you again. I've missed talking to people who are alive.
Shit. Okay, Cash, Arthur says hi. He's not anywhere near Salter's Point, but he's chilling somewhere.
How are
he
Kesh and
misses us.
Javier?
Fuck you!
And Ereq! Yeah!
Oh yeah! And Derek! Fuck me. Alright.
No, I think he ran out of words. Yeah, I think he goes, how are Kesh, Javier, and most importantly, and then runs out of words.
So funny. Shit. Alright.
Cool. So all of Julio's highest level magic is gone. Fantastic. And what you have learned conclusively is that Arthur has not seen shit.
But it's funny.
It is
So,
funny.
I'll take it.
It's excellent.
Yeah. So Tim Bale sees this because you didn't say you left. He's like, but he's not here. Good. I don't need a ghost ship fouling my waters now that I've got a lizard already. Anyway, yes. If you want any other, the person to talk to about Rex is actually Petra.
Oh shit.
I mean, the woman lives in one.
Yeah.
Can we get a ship to take us along the coast?
Oh, I have
Oh!
a boat out here.
Yes, you do.
I have
It's called the
one-person
break
boat
bill.
out here.
You do.
The break bill. I'm a captain.
You just have ships
I'm a-
everywhere? How did you
I'm
do
a
this?
pope,
Yeah,
captain,
you
pirate
we
boat.
actually need to talk about your harbor fees.
What? My
The-
what fees?
You
I'm saving
I
the
don't
world.
believe
you haven't
the
paid your
church
birthing
is
fees
not-
in like 2 months.
Oh my god. How
the
much?
church is not subject to harbor fees.
It's a,
No, that's
it's a,
taxes.
It's a
You're thinking
holy
of taxes.
vessel.
Oh, so
You're
close.
the holy vessel. You haven't paid to park your holy vessel here.
How much?
It's like it's 5 gold pieces. This is why I didn't wonder. It's like
Fine.
um
Fine.
so
I
you
throw
go
5 gold pieces at his face.
Oh,
he says don't need to be no. I was like this will pay you up for the year. Don't worry. It's fine.
All right, fine.
We were going to
Okay,
waive it,
thank
but if you're
you.
going to actually unmoor it, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So we
Thank
should
you,
go find
Commodore.
Petra.
Sir Clearwater. You do. You head out. You go and find Petra. Can you make me perception checks, please?
What? And as we go towards Petra, Julio is like excited. He's like, "Oh my god, guys, you're gonna meet Petra. Only Cash
Again.
has seen Petra, and she's so cool."
Yeah. Ooh, two
And
21s.
because I'm yapping, I only got a 7.
Yeah. Julio's not really paying attention at all. Coral, you see approaching a
Journey, yeah. Oh no, sorry, 16.
16. It's not bad. Coral, you see approaching, gliding in, actually, and it's the first time you've seen this person do this, a small puffin child aiming like a fucking arrow right at you. And you spot her clearly in time. This is one of your nieces. Her name is Angharad. And
Say that again?
Angharad.
Angharad. Okay.
Angharad is Welsh. It means beloved one, I believe.
Aww.
I will
gift.
hold my arms up to catch her.
Angharad, loved, much loved, much loved. One of the name of the mother of one of the most famous Welsh Latin writers in the 12th century. It's also a nice name. I quite like it. Has a relative called Quad has a relative called that. Well, so does Coral. Yes, this child sort of spear tackles Auntie Coral, and just dart into
Yes,
your
all right.
chest.
Coral will catch her and like spin a bit, so she's like maintaining the momentum and then slowing it rather than just a wall.
Yeah. And yeah,
she'll give her a big hug, a big squeeze, and my, aren't you big now and flying all by yourself? Your parents must be so proud.
as soon as you put the child sort of gets planted on the ground and then looks up and sees the other three and immediately like slides behind your leg and goes incredibly shy in the face of new adults that she doesn't know. This child is no more than a foot tall.
Oh my god.
Little puffin baby. You would guess she is maybe 6. And she goes, uh-huh.
It's okay. These people won't hurt you. Auntie Coral won't allow it. And, she will put her shield on the ground and like rest on it, and the shield is in front of Angharad.
Cool.
Less displaying for the party and more just to give her something to hide behind.
She waves over the top of the shield. She actually has to read. You only see the wing.
Feeling the hat.
Coral, do you want to stay and chat with your fam while we talk to Petra?
No.
Okay.
I want to stay and chat with them, but not while you're speaking to Petra. Angharad, do you want to come and speak to Petra with us?
She big puffin eyes, nods solemnly.
Okay. She'll lift her up and put her on one shoulder.
And she whispers in
Oh.
your ear, Mama says come for tea.
Yeah, she nods. Gives a little pat on the head.
And yeah, she comes with you. As you make your way down to the... So, Petra's shop is a capsized wreck that she has converted into a ship. And it is on the beach, just outside of Saltars Point proper. It's like on the edge of the harbor area. So you have to descend to the harbor through a series of lifts and pulleys. And getting down, Bron, you got a 21 as well. You notice on your way down, the inquisitive and educated eye of Bron notices that there is a fair old amount of fish floating on the surface of the water. Like, it's a fishing town. You'd occasionally see dead fish. Not that weird. But probably more than you'd expect. And you've lived in a coastal city all your life. You've lived in a village, like a fishing town, all your life. And actually, as I recall, your shop is on the docks. So
Yeah.
this is odd. And they are not, I think with the 21, they are not necessarily surface-dwelling fish.
They got displaced by a fucking dragon.
They are all dead.
I think Bron's just going to say to himself, weird. Not really make a point of it.
They're, yes, they are all, their eyes are turned white. And they appear to have been drained of color.
Weird. Okay. No, if they were drained of color, he would point it out.
If Ketch was to hypothesize in her own brain that the shadow dragon has drained these fish, would there be any way for me to check that hypothesis?
Hoiking one out and doing a sort of check on it?
How easy would it be for me to...
I mean, you're in a fishing
Hoik one
town,
out.
grabbing a net and just... Yeah? Make an investigation or nature check.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're
so-
both kind of...
Middling.
16.
16. Kesh, you use use one of your short swords to sort of skewer one of these fish floating near a dock, and hoik it out of the water. It's kind of eel-like, and you would guess it is normally dark and mottled. Its flesh is grey. It still retains a little bit of mottling, but it's just sort of lighter patches of grey. Several of its fins appear withered. It has loads of little fins running down its sides, and they all appear sort of... Yeah, like coral when it's bleached. It sort of just withers and dries and drops off. Its eyes are blank and staring. It doesn't appear to have pupils. It's just got the eye now. As it was investigation, you don't get any sort of magical sense of this, but it appears otherwise healthy. There is no injuries. It doesn't appear that it has been attacked. It's not large enough that a dragon would even consider it a morsel. It is perhaps a foot long, and it would be a meal for one person. But it's not even worthy of. In terms of the energy required to open and chew, a dragon wouldn't bother.
But if it was able to
Hold out
mass...
her hand. Sorry.
If it was able to, like, mass drain
Yeah.
stuff.
Coral
Coral will
raises
hold
her
out
hand.
her hand and say, "May I?"
Yes. It appears to be drained somehow. And I'll hand the fish over to Coral.
What do you do, Coral?
I cast Detect Magic with a prayer to Gesme, asking to grant me insight into the foul magics that fucked this fish up. In her exact words, I The thing is, I don't know if we have time to take 10 minutes to do this as a ritual or not. Because I don't want to be doing a ritual when we're chatting to Petra. So I'll just use the spell slot. That's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, that will make me feel less bad for spending 3 spell slots of 3rd level, so please do. Oh, by the way, Ron, did you look at my eye?
Oh, yes, I did. I did take. Did I? Let's have a look.
It is called a tilting shield.
A lot of
There you go.
gamers
What?
use that.
The little shield we were talking about before. Best as I can tell, is called a tilting shield. And it's sort of just attached to your armor, so you don't have to hold it. It's for jousting.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's where you aim the lance at to knock your opponent off the horse. It's sort of, yeah. For a Space Marine, however, it's just for... Because this is how I found out. I googled small shield, what name? And the picture that came up was a Space Marine, and somebody had drawn this thing, what is that, on it? And then posted it on Reddit, and Reddit has been helpful.
Aw, oh yeah.
Oh, great. It's a ritual. I can just do it. Cool. Ritualistically? No, I don't think I can.
You can do a
actually.
ritual, because you would have done it overnight, would you not?
I didn't have it memorized.
Ah. And you ain't a wizard.
So I think I have to...
Yeah, join the
think I have
spell
to-
slot burning club.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yes. So I will prepare it for today, and then I can cast it as a ritual? Yeah. Cool. So I did it this morning without
Okay,
expending a spell slot.
So you did detect
Yes.
magic this morning?
Identify.
Identify. Yeah, the eye is... best word is a conduit of death magic. A way to... You can... It's a two-way street, but you could draw death magic through it. However, the magic could also draw something else back.
So don't pop it in your head.
Okay. I'll put it in my pocket.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so it can pull your balls through.
That's big balls.
Yeah,
And then they would have cast something with death magic, so
yeah.
spellcasting balls.
And Coral casts detect magic on the eye. No, on the fish.
Well, it just works on
Yeah.
everything for 10 minutes, but
Oh, sure.
for that, yes.
There is a whole lot of... I mean, there's a fair amount of magic around you just because there's 3 other people here. The death eye that that Julio's put in his pocket is actually fairly unpleasant to sense. And actually senses not unlike the fish that Cash is holding. It's
Oh,
not
shit.
so much death magic as a lack thereof.
A lack of death magic.
A lack of magic generally. Everything possesses its own sort of magical vitality in the world. This thing has had all of its magic drained.
Right.
The
okay.
the residue is death related, is necrotic, but yeah, it wouldn't power a light bulb.
Do I know anything about these creatures? Any patterns or anything? Do I know anything about their intents? The big shadow dragons?
Oh, the shadow dragons? No, I think. I suppose the trick is you have been sent. Your overriding goal is the protection and or possibly seeing through of the prophecy.
Mhm.
And you are not the only one who knows of this prophecy.
Right.
The
That's
plane of
good,
death.
because Brendan doesn't know anything about the prophecy. If you could shoot that to me,
I
I'd
did.
appreciate that.
I did.
Or
It's in the
maybe I
Discord.
have to look back.
It's in the first line of what I sent you.
Oh, you should read it out loud so we make sure that Brenda knows.
I mean, any of you could have asked Corvax Ravenia.
No, I kind of assumed he'd tell me if it was important.
Oh, if you'd asked, he'd have told you. Well, he told you
Don't
why
tell us now.
he did tell you why he didn't, though. He did tell you why none of you
Yes,
had
he
been
did.
made
He
aware
did.
of it.
Yeah.
But if you wanted
Oh,
to
I
know,
see.
yeah. I didn't give you the exact wording of it, but yeah, the gist of it is that. And yeah, Coral knows that the Death Plane may well be trying to counter it in some way. And this is possibly this is the mightiest of the servants that it managed to send through.
Right. Okay.
And it seems to be, you would guess, gathering power. Kesh, while Coral is doing that, I think you would be the one looking out of the water, and sort of considering it. In the water, perhaps 30 feet out, where the light blue of the shallows has started to change into the inky blue-black of the deep, a form is taking shape. Something large which seems to be slowly drifting towards the surface. As you watch, sluggishly, the head of a creature rises to just below the surface so you can see it. Lying on its side, its body extending down into the deeps. The head is a couple of meters across. Its eyes, the three on the side of the head that you can see, are closed, and the lure, which normally dangles from its enormous chin, seems to have been ripped off by whatever killed it. A massive claw mark runs down its throat, though the blood, what little remains, doesn't seem to leak out into the water. Kesh and Julio, you recognize this species. Though it is larger than the last example you encountered, it is a wakeworm.
Oh, shit. And it's fucking dead.
Does appear to be.
Killed by the dragon. Cash, that's
Oh,
a wakeworm.
no. That is very bad. Those
Yeah.
things are hard to kill.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And I feel like we might need to go underwater to find this thing.
Oh.
Julio, does your vessel have the capability to go underwater?
It's a boat.
Hit it hard
it's
enough,
supposed
yes.
to stay over the water. I don't think we have submarines in this world, Coral.
Actually, amusingly, Aoife did invent one. But no, not technically, no.
I think the best we can do is like use break build to get to like a deep area, but then we'll have to dive. Do any of us have water breathing?
Oh, I did. I think it was either breathing or walking. Let me wait. But I didn't remember it.
Oh
That's for sure.
shit!
That's the wakeworm.
Nice.
Oh,
So is it
I have
huge?
both.
Is it huge?
It is a huge beast.
I see.
Technically,
if I
it
go to
breathes
sleep-
air.
Huh.
It can hold its breath for an hour, but yeah, technically they breathe air.
Jeez.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. We can ask Petra for water breathing potions because she's a merchant. So we
Okay,
can
good.
see if
Because I was
she
going
has
to go to
any.
sleep.
Yeah.
Again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's better. Yes.
Similarly, this
And
creature
there's
appears
a
to...
magic item merchant in town too, isn't there? Isn't there
Yes,
like a
Madame
a cat
Silvestri.
person?
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we know her as well. So that's
Julio
that's
does.
perfect.
The rest
That's
of you don't.
Well, would not Coral?
Coral might. Yeah, Coral might.
Yeah, okay.
Probably in passing. I don't know if she'd... Yeah. She's
Don't
not a
know
particularly
her, but
nice
knows of
person.
her.
Knows of her, yeah. She's not very gregarious, Madame Silvestri. After this, you notice that the color has been drained from this creature. You hear in the distance a roar echoing across the sea from far to the eastwards. I've still got it in my head, it's actually west. Far to the direction that I pointed before. And the eyes on the wakeworm's head flicker open.
Oh no.
And I
Oh,
think
it's
we'll leave
undead.
it there.
Okay. That's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Cool.
I wonder
I'm not worried.
I wonder how fast Angharad can fly. So
Oh no, we have a child.
Just
Coral just yeet her.
yeah.
yeah. There we go, guys. That is that. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Now we like to do what we do like at the end of our streams. We do our favorite moments, where we go around the table and talk about the bits that we liked from the episode we did. So let us have a D5 in chat, please, everybody. This is something we stole unapologetically from the dreaded GM. It's something I quite like to do. Nice and affirming way to end your streams, to identify what you did well, because it's always nice to be told that you did good. That's a 3 from Bishop Blood, which is Bron. We talk about John. Favorite moments, everybody. Favorite John moments, guys. What do we think?
Oh, so much good stuff. I liked the conversation Braun had with the spirits, because I didn't even consider the panic and chaos that it would bring if they just started yapping to everyone on the road. And Braun was like, "Okay, we can do this, but like structured and through a human, like a live person." I was like, "Yeah, that's actually smart. Yeah, no, that makes sense."
Of course. Because I was like,
Yeah, that's what I wrote down too. I thought that was very cool. And the fact that it wasn't something that occurred to him, but he observed it happen and then was like, "Oh wait, okay, let's make this work now after the fact." I think is very Bron of identifying a problem and then coming up with the solution as it happens.
yeah.
Mhm.
Not beforehand.
I mean, foresight doesn't seem to be Bron's focus, right?
yeah. That's very true.
I like the detail.
Solution focusing is.
Yeah. I like the detail that when he went to the party and then it was like, okay, I brought this massive pile of food back. I'm going to do my level up by sitting and making notes. I think it was like, yeah, that's very Bron. Very good description of character by showing rather than telling. Yeah, it was nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I wrote down a quote for Bron, actually, which I quite enjoyed. Julio, who have you been associating with this time?
Yeah.
You don't like the
it's not
taste
a
of rock?
surprise.
Suspicion blood?
Like, what have you been doing? Just, that. I expected this of Julio, but even this is just. What
Yeah. You have a ship?
There's a fine line between like Bron has now seen Julio pull a lot of stuff out of his ass, but they're still surprising. Like,
There's still stuff in that
Don't
ass.
look
yeah.
shocked, Josh.
An ass of holding.
ooh.
They
Yeah.
call that a muffin pouch.
No, that's a muffin bag of holding, and that one's different again. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed asking Julio to make the oozes maybe a sacred creature.
Yes.
Yep.
They have done a lot for us, and I know they're oozes, but I think Bron would put that to one side and be like, yeah, but they still deserve something.
That's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
They've had our backs.
Yeah.
They really did. Glorious. Alrighty. Well, then we need a D4, please. D4 in chat, somebody. To who to flatter next. That's a 1. We need a reroll on that one. That's
No.
Go on then. DM, favorite DM moments.
Damn. I mean, I liked obviously the fucking tearjerker of a scene with the spirit that saw his family. My God, how could you? How could you do this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mine-
Like the whole thing, the procession, like all of it.
Yeah. It's all really sweet.
Mine was describing the souls moving on to the afterlife. Moving through the node was very cool.
I want a heads up that was improvised on the fly based on what you guys did. So that was 50% Julio. Like that was I wanted to highlight that as a communal moment because I was feeding off what Julio was giving me there as well. But yeah, that was a it
I
was a
think
cool
in
scene.
general, it's really cool that you are allowing this whole like subplot of new religion, new mythos, like becoming a thing in Old Heart, because like everything around Old Heart is like it's new stuff. So it's so easy to see how this procession of spirits later will be turned into like a local legend or like an event. So it's really cool.
Hmm.
Bishop Blood says, Mihai freaking out. You're gonna sacrifice them? Yeah,
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
that was fun.
In a similar vein, I wrote down, well, the Pope stole my horse, which I very good. But I think, yeah, building on what other people are saying, I think it's the like you allow different people to have different reactions to the same thing, and some of those reactions are sad, and some of them are happy, and that's cool. Like everybody in the tree can react differently, and you can keep track of where everyone else's focus is. And that's cool because it means that we get to go from a really tense scene with Cash trying to explain that where you know what we did the right thing, and then we go straight into like this sad procession, and yeah, it's just being able to keep track of everyone allowed that, and being able to like have them all have different motivations. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Tacking on that, I did enjoy going to see the council and them being hella pissed about this.
I'm not impressed, Cash. What the fuck?
It's like, what the fuck have you been doing? And I'm like, it's not as bad as you think it is. It's really not.
I had a small one, which was Kovacs, messaging you going like, hey, here's how to handle this. Like, make it seem like you intended this and plug the good bits. And yeah.
Like, I cannot emphasize how great all of this is.
We meant to do this. I'll acknowledge it didn't go perfectly. There is still some cleaning up we're going to have to do. It is on me but at the same time, very good benefits. Yeah.
Solid benefits. A+ benefits. We're going to get dental.
But my favorite was absolutely the figuring out what was going to happen next. And the dead fish. And the dead wake worm, which is totally dead, don't worry about it. But I just love dental.
Can we overall chat for once? Because I feel like we're talking about Karen and I want to continue on that train. I was amazed at the level of bullshit that
Yes.
Kesh was spinning in that meeting.
Like, yes.
And normally I'm not a huge fan of like DMs kind of intervening to be like, hey, you should do this. But the way that Josh did it in character as Kovacs, I could see completely change the way that you as a player were going to confront that situation.
Kesh can be honest to her own detriment at times.
Yeah, I was just like, wow, I'm getting convinced.
She's making some good points. Yeah, no, like this is
Nice.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah,
fuck, this is like some The Boys Vought level bullshit spinning. This is fucking Trump presidency. Let's
not make that alignment, but
Hey,
Vought is
Kesh's
okay.
intentions are honorable.
oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
And she's got better hair.
that's true. It's hers.
hair.
And Bishop Blood says playing Arthur. Yeah, I was actually really stoked that you gave that came up.
I was like, fuck it. It's gonna be a fun conversation. Let's use all of our spell slots
Yeah.
and make him talk more.
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. Alrighty. Does there any other
Yeah.
favorite? Oh, sorry.
If we are going to keep going,
I think we're moving on to
if we're gonna
Karen. So
overrule
yeah.
yeah, sweet. Because my favorite, one of my favorite moments I wrote down was please sum up the issues in 10 words or less, and then afterwards a gold star. Amazing, because Cash doesn't often sit in that level of command, but is corporal. I forget her rank.
Colonel.
Colonel.
Quite the
Thank
opposite
you.
end of the
Yes.
spectrum.
Yeah. But it's a colonel. And so because we don't often see that, but yeah, it's just lovely. Like there's such a range there, and it worked really well, and I loved it.
Yeah,
To
definitely.
flex my responsible leader muscles after making an absolute dumpster fire of the countryside.
I'm gonna point out the conversation with Korvax as well, because I had a lovely time playing with several of you this evening, like doing those one-on-one interactions. And yeah, Kesh's chat with Korvax and getting to, you gave me some lovely opportunities to build to drop in lore really gently. You asked good questions that allowed me to give you good answers. So that was it's nice when you have somebody who is poking the right places for story, but in character.
I also enjoyed revisiting Kesh's attitude towards prophecy because I'm like, the last time someone told me this
that
shit,
was so good.
I
Yeah.
basically ended up going, fuck it,
Fuck
I'm just
you.
going to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
Korvax didn't say it was like that was a god saying what he wanted you to do because he thought he had you on he thought he had a winning hand, but you proved him wrong. Not an actual
Called his
prophecy.
Yes, but I
yeah.
think my issues with them are similar. It's like, excuse you.
I mean, what
will be
is
tackling
an
this-
actual prophecy other than something that someone has predicted to happen in the future?
This is true.
There are many methods of prediction, including bullshit.
Hoping and
Accidentally
guessing.
being right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Nope, fair enough. Korvax actually had an answer prepared for that one. His answer was scale. That is the primary definition of prophecy. Everybody can see the future. Everybody can guess what's going to happen. But prophecy is really when it's big. That's when we use that word.
That's prophecy with a capital P.
Yeah. That's the sort of thing that has a prophet attached to it. Bishop Blood says meeting Coral, as in, I think, Kesh's time to when Kesh met Coral, was really nice. Yes, I agree. Any
Kesh
other
is
favorite?
a tiny bit intimidated by Coral.
That's fair. She's supposed to be, I think. We have a roll
She
2.
didn't show
And
him.
that's a 1. Favorite Julio moments. Yeah. I'm going to go balls in straight away. Burning your 3 third-level spell slots to talk to Arthur. Yeah. I can't leave him hanging. It was your rationale for doing so. It was your, no, I can't leave. He's going to think I ghosted him. And then I go, again. Like turn him into a literal fucking ghost.
To be fair, he asked for that.
He did. He absolutely
Yeah, that
chose
was
it.
not Julio's
And
fault.
Ereq has
It
no
was a
sympathy at all.
consensual ghosting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was mine as well. And having to just sit there and not react because Ereq isn't there. Yeah, that was.
Ereq had so many feelings
was
after
very
that happened.
Oh, and fucking Josh as well. Your first go at the last message of not even mentioning Ereq at all.
So funny.
Yeah, and then going, no, actually, most importantly, yeah.
Shit, I'm out of words.
Yep.
I hope he got that.
I really enjoyed Julio just collecting these villagers that now think he's,
His
like
flock.
the best, and throwing them a fucking party.
Yeah, fuck it.
Like,
You
we
thought-
survived! Time to party. By the way, this is my temple. You like it? Yeah.
I mean, this is how you get
Totally not a
followers.
cult leader breeding
Yeah.
in new people.
Yeah,
Totally
yeah.
not, yeah.
And this is the room where we all have sex with me. And-
With a spinning bed,
yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Bron and I did it one time.
Right.
It's everyone else's turn now.
It's fine. Yeah. I actually really loved the way you kind of navigated between the two extremes. Like, yes, we are about to have a party, but first, a funeral.
It's awake. Yeah.
It's awake, yeah,
No,
but was
So
actually
you're
really
awake too,
genuinely sensitive, and then snapping right into celebration and just played both roles. And even though Julio had no idea what Julio was doing.
Yep.
Julio never
Yeah.
has any idea what Julio is
Yeah, that's
doing.
classic. That's normal.
Mm-hmm.
Slime angels. Isn't that when you lie in a slime and flap your arms? Like...
That's what Eric's gonna do when he wakes up. Just-
Yeah. I've already said my other favorite Julio, which was just the death scene and being able to feed off each other there. Favorite self?
Yes. For yourself, I liked the. I just like being unhinged, Julio, sometimes. So we're talking to the guard. I'm like, thank you, sir. Wait, why am I saluting you? Fuck you, actually.
I'm the
Like, out
Pope!
of
You shouldn't be
nowhere,
saluting
aggressive.
me!
Yeah, actually, salute me right now. He's great. It's he's clearly doesn't know the structure of command or who's happening to who,
What's
but like
going on?
he's in it. The spirit is in it, you know.
Yeah. Speak into the horn, Julio. No, not that loud. Talking to Riley's butt. Yes, that was funny. Take your 5 gold, slams on desk. After just throwing 50 at Sage to
Yeah.
feed his followers for no reason.
Of priorities, you know.
Yeah,
But this
absolutely.
is taxes, and this is a party with my peeps.
No,
you
it's
know?
it's birthing fees, it's not taxes. So favorite Brendan moments, I think. Brendan.
Ooh, I'm gonna jump in straight away and
Go
just
for it.
say how you reacted with Angharad, because up until that point, Coral was so intimidating and just like, we're doing this thing, and then suddenly had this lovely warmth, and yeah, it was just delightful to see, and gave so much depth as well to Coral. I'm like, oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Warms my heart.
That was a deliberate what will she do from me. I'm going to throw a niece at her. That'll do. She has a whole family. I've got all the names. The sister is called Pearl.
Aw.
And Coral and Pearl, because I was like, need a nautical gemish thing. Yeah, that'll do. The husband of Pearl is Aled. They're all Welsh names other than Pearl. That's the thing, because they are the parents of Aoife, Karen's wizard character. And yeah,
See.
Aoife has written to Auntie Coral to tell her about this magical adventure where she invented a submarine and found a rod of sea animal control, which was fucking up the local ecology, which was why she went to do that. That was the adventure where you fought a giant fish beast that, like, a whole bunch of fish had like merged together, and you had to unmerge them, Aoife, if you recall, Kesh. Yeah, that one.
There's a lot of
That's so
but yeah.
cool.
Of sorcery and shenanigans. Check it out. Get amongst it. So yes,
That is cool. Yeah, and I really appreciated you throwing that niece at me so that I could show that other side of Coral.
Yeah. I enjoyed conversing with Coral as well. And it's clear that Coral does not fucking trust us, but she's also like clearly a person with her own view on things. I liked bringing up darkness, and she's like, "No, that's fucking stupid. What?"
it's the great thing about having a new character played by an experienced player, so that they're in on the in-jokes, so they can make the wonderful, like, why weren't you even at that wedding?
Surely you
totally
would have been
didn't-
invited.
I totally didn't catch that you said darkness. I thought you said just a spell. Would you cast spells in combat?
that
That's
was-
even better. Fuck.
That's so dumb. Why would you do that?
Fuck.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
I liked her relationship with Korvax. I think that was cool and deep and interesting. I tried to give you a lot of opportunities to show what you thought this character would be, and yeah, seeing you do that was really cool. But yeah, giving that interaction, the sort of the relationship they had, and there was at the very beginning when we first met her, when you first took the pilot seat, and had a "Who the heck are you?" The "Who the heck are you?" comment when you were driving the worm that they were all riding on. That first blush of you like, oh wow, okay, this is who Ereq wants this is who Brendan wants Coral to be, was really interesting. Yeah.
I really enjoyed kind of the vote where we kind of worked out that Coral's biggest beef is with the member of our party that's currently unconscious. So we have that to look forward to later. Even if these three chuckle fucks manage to win Coral over, there's still going to be a whole thing when Ereq fucking wakes up.
Yeah,
Like,
and
hey.
Eric's gonna have to have that argument with himself.
Yeah.
Gonna be great.
It's okay. No, my plan is to make, before Ereq wakes back up, make the other three characters make the argument on his behalf, so that by the time he does wake up, she's cool with it.
Right. Okay. That's Trish now,
It's
Coral.
not gonna happen like that.
It's not going to happen, like particularly not now you've told Daria.
Yeah. Never clearing his name ever.
Julio is gonna add more shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was such an idiot. Did you see how he opened that door to the death plane?
If Julio and Coral are super buddy by the end of this, like Coral is going to have every drop of Eric's tea before he wakes up.
Yep. All the gossip. Yep.
Yeah.
Even funnier if Coral gets to meet Arthur.
Yeah.
Oh no, poor Eric.
They hit it off. Like Coral's like, she's really cool. Yeah. Anyway,
Brendan's heart would break.
Brendan, favorite Coral moment.
Look, I'm impressed that everyone got one in because Coral didn't do a lot this episode. But I enjoyed my description of aid and having to. It was really interesting. The fact that Gesme, like I started this session not knowing anything about Gesme, and then I was like, I should read the PDF about Gesme. And the fact that Gesme is about fire as well, I was like, oh well, I don't want to do the same fire shit that Ereq does.
Yeah.
So spotting that she's of the forge as well and taking on that element, I was quite proud of.
Yeah, that's neat. And it's something I had forgotten about Gesme. Yeah, absolutely. But tracks make sense.
I did actually write down in my notes, the plate is on your soul.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I thought that was very
cool.
Yeah. Getting into
Not
the deep
sure
lore now.
if-
I mean,
Not
she's
sure if
her
Gesme
power is
being of the
religious, so
forge.
soul. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, and I was just gonna say, I'm not sure if Gesme being of the forge is going to be positive or benefit or negative for Bronn. Don't know how
Bronn
that's
is
going
not.
to work out.
Bronn is not a
but he also
particular
likes armor
Gesme follower,
and likes
but loves
forging.
armor. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe they'll be best
What
friends.
would-
Maybe
and
they'll
you
be
know
enemies. Who knows?
Would Bronn worship?
Half. Half.
Oh yeah, that's
half.
right. That's right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Which is the
And
other
actually,
half of that.
Yeah. I'm reminded as well of that little bonding moment between Bronn and Coral where Bronn compliments her armor and she's just like, well, of course you like my armor. And then like, well, I like yours too.
Yours is cool too, I guess.
Yeah.
Such mean girls.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Alrighty, well, we will go away from here now, guys, because we've been streaming for a gosh darn while. But thank you very much for joining us. It is good to be back in the wood. Guys, who the heck have you been this evening? Brendan, who the heck are you?
I'm Brendan. I'm an actor and director, and I'm pink today, and so that's been cool. You can occasionally see little LEDs from behind me. And I had fun playing a new character.
Hills, yeah.
And it's going to be the only character that I play from now on. Ereq is getting banished to the Shadow Realm.
No.
And Coral is going to be the new goat.
My aching wallet. Karen, who the heck are you?
Hello, I am Karen, sometimes known as the Mother of Bunnies. I'm a performer, a writer, an internet addict. You can find me in various places on the internet, including Blue Sky, which eventually I will remember to add to my bio, but the handle is the same, so I'm sure you guys can work it out. And hopefully we will be back to build some Lego next week, because it was my dad's birthday, so he had to go.
Yeah, that's why
be
we
good,
didn't.
like
I have a
Don't touch that
Lego
anymore.
dragon that needs to be built. It is a third of the bags in the box are the dragon. So
gonna
yeah,
be
that's what we're
Nice.
gonna do next Tuesday. It's been a very cool stream. Thank you very much, Quad. Bron, who the heck are you, John?
Hi, I'm John. Never really known as Vic Bessington, but you know, it's fun. Had a lot of fun playing Bron today, and actually something I didn't say that would interest Josh is that I got a Warhammer mini for Christmas.
Ooh.
It's not very mini. It's an Imperial Knight. It's fucking
Yes!
huge.
Damn.
So
Fuck
good.
yes.
Yeah, and I'm magnetizing it now.
So you can change out the weapon loadout. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And then I have to paint it, and I have no idea what I'm doing for painting.
One
so
of us. You spray it
Wizards
black,
of the Coast.
and then you get a brush that you cover mostly in just metal, and then you just rub most of it off, and then you rub that across the entire thing. You're about 60% there. Then you buy something called Nuln Oil, and you dunk it in that, and then you're about 80% there. Then you just pick out some details. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how
cool.
I would
Alright,
paint
that
an
sounds
Imperial
good.
Knight.
Fun.
Love it. Wizard of the Coast did what?
They've just got all my money. I'm just setting aside a portion of my wage now with
That-
D&D and
That's not
Magic
Wizards.
and
That's
Warhammer.
that's
Oh,
that's
it's not.
Warhammer. No, Warhammer is different to Wizards. Yeah, no. Warhammer is its
Oh,
own evil corporation. Don't worry. You're still giving your money to the wrong people, but it's different.
It's really hard not to give your money to evil corporations.
Warhammer isn't evil. They're just fucking retarded. They're just bad. They're not. They're just they feel money grubby. They're just really bad at running their own business, and they're held aloft by their people. They make bad decisions that hurt their own community. They're not particularly. Yeah, it's not a very community friendly hobby. But the problem is, it's such a fucking good hobby. It's really problematic. Daria, who the heck are you?
I'm Daria. I play here on Thursdays, play Julio, and I'm very happy to be back. Yo!
Shanahos, it is still GW. Games Workshop is the parent company, but the stores are called Warhammer stores now. And I be Josh the Pirate. All my links are there. There you go. I haven't done anything very much interesting lately. I'm not involved in Fringe this year. I am going to be auditioning for The Tempest this year, though. That's going to be...
Ooh.
Nice.
Class Act Theatre is coming back to do their final show in Perth, and I am going to be trying to be involved. Excited for that. Other than that, going to be studying this year. And that's, I think, all we need to talk about. Wooten Forge guys are amazing folks. Check them out at wootenforge.com. Get their stuff, buy their things. Trolllord Games sent me some lovely dice. If you want some like it, you can go to trolllord.com and acquire some of those. They also sell like TTRPG games that aren't D&D. If you don't want to support Hasbro, go support Trolllord Games instead. They're fucking awesome. Do that. Trolllord.com. Other than that...
Also, the dice they sent you didn't kill us. I seem to remember that the
I
last new set of
haven't.
dice you
I
got.
didn't really. I rolled one once, and I got a 10. So they've been doing great so far. We love these dice.
I seem to remember the last set that you got that were new. You were just like, oh look, another 20.
Another 20, baby. Yeah, no, the blue ones in the ones in the chest are. Yeah, the ones that have stayed in the Wooden Forge box for a while are pretty brutal on you guys. Nearly did a TPK last weekend with Lancaster and the lads. They fought an ancient red dragon at level 11. Six of them fought an ancient red dragon. They had one guy left on 1 hit point and one guy left on 14 hit points when the dragon died.
Wow.
Jesus.
They
What a
did
fight.
have
Crazy.
a big mecha assistant who did a feral whack of damage on it. But it was like playing fucking whack-a-mole. But I did nearly get him, and it was the last dude on 14 hit points was like, "Ugh, I didn't hear no bell." And he got lucky, I'll be honest. He'd been ignored because he was the least dangerous. We will go away from here now and find somebody to raid. Who have we got? We have Agent Number 1 is playing Heroes of the Hammer, Paladin cast Bonk, co-op with someone else, exciting. Or we've got Mike Moans. Look, Agent's only got 4 people watching him so far, so let's go and drop a raid on Agent. Agent is a wonderful streamer from Canada. He's one of the people I played with first when I started out playing D&D on the Twitch. He's a lovely chap. He came and played with us on International Talk Like a Pirate Day as well. Kieran is a splendid bloke. Go and say hi to him. Show them the love like you always do. And we will see you same bad time, same bad channel on Tuesday night for some more Lego dragon building. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.